Blamed for more than 150 deaths, the death toll climbing, hundreds still missing, including 47 American tourists. Here's ABC's Lama Hassan.
The rescue operation is underway. Where this took place, near the border with China, is a popular destination with tourists. And according to the Nepalese Tourism Board, nearly 400 tourists are missing. The army has urged people to remain on high alert and to stay in safe places.
Witness testimony and the evidence portion of the Lindsay Clancy trial in Massachusetts has concluded. The mother is charged with killing her 3 children in 2023. Her attorneys argue she has postpartum psychosis and didn't receive adequate medical treatment. Closing arguments are next in the trial. Reaction following the death of Dolly Parton stretching around the world. The American icon and superstar singer crossing music and cultural boundaries. Parton's family says a memorial for the 80-year-old legend will be small and intimate. This is ABC News. Meta has reached a tentative landmark settlement with every U.S. state except New Mexico and Florida, stemming from the lawsuit alleging Facebook and Instagram was designed to be addictive to minors. The social media giant agreeing to pay some $18 billion to make major changes to its apps. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
A default daily time limit of 2 hours for users under the age of 18, a ban on displaying numbers of likes or reactions to users under age 18, a ban on cosmetic procedure image filters, the option for some users under 18 to have a non-personalized feed. That is significant because that gets at algorithmic changes with these platforms.
A judge still needs to approve the settlement. British actor Tim Curry has died, the stage, voice, and film actor nominated for 3 Tony Awards, his career spanning 6 decades. He was born in the UK in 1946 and got his start on the stage in the West End, starring in the original production of Hair before moving to Hollywood. Tim Curry was 80 years old. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
An update on some of our state's largest wildfires. That is one story coming up. But first, Harborstone Credit Union has a check on traffic here into Seattle. South 5, we're stop and go from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, plan on a half-hour trip. North 5, you're going to get just a little crowded there at the West Seattle Bridge up to I-90. Then it does get thick approaching 520 again. Out toward Gorst, we have road work on State Route 3 and traffic alternating near Sunny Slope Road. Expect delays if this is your route. Down in Fife, North 5 at the Fife curve, a collision blocks your right lane. 3 lanes were blocked, and that's why we're backed up solidly to the Puyallup River Bridge. And just now hearing of a crash on West Nickerson Street by SPU, blocking both directions of Nickerson Street. Earn up to $30 a month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today at harborstone.com/cash.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. More than 2,000 firefighters are battling the Little Giant fire in central Washington.
It is now 21% contained at 147,000 acres. Evacuation levels remain in effect for people near the fire. Among the crews in Chelan County, active duty U.S. Army soldiers, National Guard members, and firefighters from Australia and New Zealand.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin reporting. The Little Giant is the second largest fire. The Sinlahican fire near Tonasket is the largest with 155,000 acres scorched and 44% contained. Washington State is suing again over the president's push to change mail-in voting just 2 days after the Supreme Court lifted an earlier injunction. This time around, the lawsuit targets a new U.S. Postal Service rule requiring new barcodes and additional processing for mailed ballots. Secretary of State Steve Hobbs says time is running short.
In 6 weeks, we mail our ballots. In less than 3 weeks, we mail to our overseas voters, most of whom are uniformed service members protecting our democracy.
Counties have already printed their ballots. If the lawsuit fails and the rule takes effect, Hobbs says voters should use ballot drop boxes instead of the mail. Federal immigration enforcement is expanding at SeaTac Airport. The Seattle Times reports ICE is targeting certain immigrants arriving at SeaTac, including some asylum seekers and green card applicants married to U.S. citizens, as part of a broader nationwide push. Immigration advocates say the actions are creating uncertainty for travelers, while federal officials say they're enforcing existing immigration laws. Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank has filed a citizen-backed charter amendment petition today in Tacoma. The proposal would keep the sheriff's office nonpartisan and elected by voters.
I believe the people of Pierce County should have the right to vote for and elect a sheriff of their choosing, even if it means, if I run again, that they vote against me.
The filing begins the process for a potential countywide vote in 2027. Meanwhile, a lawsuit filed in Thurston County this week aims to keep the Pierce County Sheriff an elected position. That is in response to a measure the Pierce County Charter Commission is putting before voters this fall to make it an appointed position. And if that passes, Swank's term would end on New Year's Day. And now check on your KIRO News Radio weather. Clouds will break this afternoon. We'll be under mostly sunny skies with a high near 78. Our updated forecast now shows isolated showers Thursday through Saturday and highs closing in on 70 by Saturday. Mostly cloudy and 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Jake Skorheim sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Hey, brother.
Spike, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my friend. Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday. We have a lot of stuff to get to. We got a lot of stuff close to home. We got a lot of stuff internationally. Did you guys watch? Have you been watching these videos of the flash flood in Nepal?
Oh, Nepal, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, these are like just absolutely terrifying. Basically, I mean, what happened, we're going to get into this more at 1 o'clock, and we have a bunch of CCTV footage of just like the size and the scale of what happened, but there's hundreds of people missing. They assume, likely hundreds of deaths as a result of this. It's just tragic. It's horrible.
Is the term biblical disrespectful?
No, I don't know how else you describe it.
Right? But then I ask, is the frequency with which we're seeing this level of natural disaster, I don't know if biblical really, biblical to me, in my mind, biblical means...
Thinking like apocalyptic.
Yes, or so infrequent, so rare.
Well, I would assume there's only one end, so it would be rare by definition. It's a big disaster. It's a big disaster. Yeah. A glacier collapsed and basically sent all of this debris and water and everything running down into Nepal, and it's just...
Through this, yeah.
Disappears built like massive buildings in a split second, and it's one of those things where you just watch it and you go, there's just nothing you can do to avoid this happening. You have we'll get into all this at 1 o'clock. That's not the start of the show. It is one of those things that's very interesting and tragic at the same time. It's big worldwide breaking news, so we'll talk about that top of the 1 o'clock hour and the 1 o'clock rundown, so we'll get into that. Let's get right into some stuff, though, locally here that's also very interesting. This is a tragedy, a possible tragedy avoided, which is very good, and a scary story. You can read about this at mynorthwest.com. I believe it's top story right now at mynorthwest.com, but there was a guy, 34-year-old guy, who has a history of very bad things, violent offenses in his past.
Yeah, criminal and violent criminal behavior.
Like scary stuff. Yeah. He's been charged in King County with threatening to kill Bob Ferguson, governor of our state. And the one, there's a lot of positive things about this, actually, namely that nothing happened to Bob Ferguson. That would be horrible, obviously. This guy actually walked himself into a hospital, and he said, from the story that you can read at mynorthwest.com, he basically tells them, I'm hearing a lot of voices that want me to do bad things, and there's just this little sliver that must be still inside of him that says, hey, this is not reality. I can't act on these things. Although it seems like in the past he maybe has acted on some of these things.
Yes. Exactly.
And so the fact that he had the wherewithal to go to some professional and say, I need help.
Yeah, exactly. He sought help.
And tell us, and was this at First Hill? He walked into Swedish First Hill, is that right?
Yeah, Swedish First Hill. And he had, like you said, he had a history of violent and nonviolent criminal offenses. I believe he was in a grocery, a Safeway store.
This is
and
crazy.
Voices told him to stab an employee.
And he did, in the face.
Yeah. So the gentleman clearly is dealing with a ongoing mental health situation / crisis.
Yeah.
But he had the wherewithal to walk in and say, look, I'm contemplating self-harm. I'm contemplating violence against others.
And he had a plan. He had the plan is the disturbing part, because they asked him, can I read a little bit of this? This is from James Lynch at mynorthwest.com. You guys can read it here. According to court documents and a certification for determination of probable cause, on the night of July 18th, Foster checked himself into Swedish Hospital, First Hill in Seattle, reporting suicidal and homicidal ideation. He then allegedly told a hospital caseworker he planned to harm Ferguson, prompting the worker to notify authorities under a duty to warn. They have to do that. Thankfully, they did. Foster was ultimately placed on a waiting list for the Crisis Solutions Center and was not free to leave the hospital at that time. Staff later informed law enforcement that he was being evaluated for possible involuntary detention. Seattle police officers interviewed Foster early in the morning the next day, July 19th. During the interview, according to probable cause statement, Foster allegedly said that he had plans to take a public transit to Olympia, described how he was hoping to lurk around the governor's mansion, where he was going to watch the security guards, look for weaknesses, and then when they were switching out on their shift,
he's going to track their schedule.
Yeah,
look for ways to penetrate their security
detail, whatever. I mean, like he was looking for ways in, and I'm still sitting here going, thankfully this guy turned himself in.
Amen.
I mean, how many stories have we seen about, I mean, a lot of times it's political, but just people in general doing crazy things. And you go like, man, I wish somebody would have noticed. In this case, he turned himself in. Yeah. Here's the other question I have for you, though. Why was this guy out? Did you read like all the different histories in the past and the things that he has a history of?
Well, I'm going to assume here. I'm assuming this gentleman has been through the system from a punitive, a correctional, as well as a mental health evaluation and treatment perspective. I imagine he's medicated under doctor's supervision. Oftentimes that's where the system breaks down, is you can't make somebody take prescribed medications. Oftentimes it's condition of release is that they maintain their medication regimens. And it sounds like this guy may have not done so. I don't know that, but I don't know if that's pertinent to this case. I know
it's a big assumption.
Well, but I know it is often the case with release of people who have mental health crises where they
might be prescribed something, sure.
Where they overlap with criminal behavior and criminal record. So this guy, realizes that he's hearing voices again, and they're telling him to do bad things, and he's plotting out, and he has these moments of clarity, I guess. We've had family members who have dealt with mental health issues, and they really do come and go of the people that they are and the people that they were. And he during one of these moments of clarity for him, he thought enough to say, look, I'm having suicidal and homicidal thoughts, and he said, I need help.
Listen to this part. This is he apparently had grievances. The reason he says he was trying to get close to Ferguson is because he has grievances about some time that he spent in a Spokane correctional facility where he says that he was sexually abused.
Yeah. And he thought that killing the governor would just draw attention to his situation and the overall situation of treatment in correctional facilities.
Yeah.
It's not like he was blaming Ferguson for what happened to him, but he thought that killing in his statement he gave to Washington State Patrol detectives, he thought that taking the governor's life would draw attention to this crisis in his own life.
It's a wild story. Court records, this is again from James Lynch's piece. Court records and investigative documents outline an extensive criminal behavioral history in which Foster previously entered a Ralph's Thriftway in Thurston. This is the part where you talked about a little earlier. Stabbed an employee in the face after being greeted. That's horrible. In that case, he reportedly told officers that he wanted to kill cops and politicians and track down politicians, and he said he stabbed the employee because voices in his head told him to do it. Court documents from that incident indicate he was later found not competent to stand trial. The current case summary notes that Foster has prior convictions, including second-degree robbery in 2008, third-degree assault in 2009, and third-degree malicious mischief in 2023. So there's a long history of this.
Yeah.
He has first, second, and third-degree assault, second-degree malicious mischief, and harassment between 2017 and 2025. Is this guy finally not? I mean, like, is he finally not going to be back out on the streets? Prosecutors are seeking $50,000 bail. I mean, if
I'm right there with you on this.
Why is it you have a guy who's very clearly showing a history of like getting worse and worse and worse? Why don't we treat mental health as a serious thing in this state? They don't. They don't treat it as a serious thing. You walk downtown Seattle, you see 1,000 people who are suffering from mental health issues that they're fine with living outside.
I ask, is it a resource situation?
Nope.
Because I don't know. I mean, are there enough beds? Are there enough doctors? Are there enough clinics? Is there enough resources to give people the mental health that they seek?
When we talked to Charlie,
they may be.
When we talked to Charlie earlier in the year, I want to say 2 or 3 months ago, and he was calling around to institutions that offered help
that had
immediately.
beds available.
He said every place he called had beds available.
Yeah,
but they also had requirements that these people could not continue their drug using and alcohol using.
But do we know if that's this gentleman's situation? I have
no,
idea.
I'm not saying that.
No, I know. I'm just asking why. Why is this guy still out having these thoughts?
Yeah, they don't
acting on these thoughts.
I don't understand why they don't treat it more seriously. This seems to me like he's a pretty high priority. This would be for me. This would be like a DEFCON. Is it DEFCON 5 is worse or DEFCON 1?
5 goes up.
It goes up.
Goes
All right. This is a DEFCON 5 situation. I would think in a situation like this guy's. Where he feels like I'm having suicidal thoughts and ideations. I'm going to go and take out somebody.
He's going to take the governor out to draw attention to an issue. He also said in this piece, and he said to State Patrol detectives, it's in James Lynch's piece, I'll take out employees, take out staff members.
Yeah,
if I can't get to the governor.
If I can't get to, he's willing to do it. And that to me is like,
to your point, this guy's. But is that this guy was such a detailed plan. He was factoring in all these different elements of his plan. Public transportation, Olympia, surveillance of the mansion itself, of the security staffs protecting the governor. He's putting a plan together.
It does give you an insight a little bit into the way that people's minds work, even when they're clearly having issues.
Yeah.
He's describing like mission type stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where he's thinking to himself, like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to scope the place out, I'm going to all these different things. In reality, security for the governor would pick him up in a second. I bet you.
Oh yeah.
I bet you.
I would think so.
I would hope so that they would.
Yeah.
But we have seen at the national level, even at the Secret Service level, that's not always. That's not. You can check into a room at a hotel of a major event.
Hopefully they're correcting that policy.
I mean, there's just like
there's no perfect plan.
There's no perfect plan. Crazy. All right. Well, we'll keep you up to date on that story.
50,000 bail.
50,000 bail.
I mean, 50,000.
Yeah. Wouldn't you go higher?
I'm thinking.
I would go a little
higher. This
higher.
guy's putting together a detailed plan to kill the governor as an example. I think I might.
Prosecutors argue that he is a, quote, highly dangerous individual. So 50,000.
And that's
50,000 is like nothing.
But that's pending psychological evaluation and everything else that's going to go on involved in this.
And
that's for the judge to decide.
He's currently under involuntary detention for psychiatric stuff. Right. So that's a whole thing, and hopefully he's, gets the help that he needs. He needs help, obviously. And hopefully he gets to help you. I don't think it's. I mean, respectfully, I don't think it's a funding issue. I think they've got the money. They just choose to spend it in different ways, and I think it would be good to invest that money in helping people who have an issue like this. All right. Speaking of money, this is a tough transition. But speaking of money. Jobs pay money, and there's a job that's being advertised right now.
There's a well-paying job. Did you see the range in the salary on this?
And you know what? One of the qualifications that you need for the job is we don't want you to have mental health issues. And this is for the new SPD chief. Katie Wilson has launched a national search for the next police chief, and we thought this would inspire a good question of the day because she has now come out with what her criteria are going to be for who she hires. And we thought that it would be interesting to ask you, the audience, at 888-973-5476, and then we'll come back to these at 1:30. If you were the mayor of the city of Seattle, what would be your criteria? Like, you can give us a top 5 list if you want, like the top 5 things that you look for in a possible candidate who might be applying for this very, very good job. It's a high-paying job, a lot of responsibility, a great opportunity to, you could revitalize what right now is kind of being not laughed at. SPD is not in a good position right now.
From an image perspective.
From an image perspective.
Yeah, they've national law enforcement.
They have had, like, from the top down, the rank and file, the cops that are, actually out there answering 911 calls. We love those cops, and hopefully folks in Seattle, I don't live in Seattle, but I love those cops. Hopefully folks in Seattle will start loving their police as well. And I know a lot of them do because we have a lot of listeners to the show who live in proper Seattle and also very much support the police. And the question is, we talked about this yesterday, why is Seattle Police Department having a tough time holding on to cops and getting new cops to want to come in and join law enforcement? And we talked about this yesterday. A big part of that is they're looking at a hole in leadership. I mean, literally they have a hole right now because they don't have a leader. He was forced to resign. But all of that is now you have the opportunity for somebody to come in and do a really, really great job. And they can totally change the feeling and the culture within the SPD. So the question to you guys is, if you were the mayor, what would you do? Who would you hire? How would you hire this person? What's the number one thing that would matter to you? Like, where would you start if we made you mayor right now? Or do you want to hear from Katie Wilson first?
Let's see what the mayor has to say, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Yeah.
All right, here's from Katie Wilson.
I will be looking for someone who can be an effective leader of our police department from top to bottom. In particular, that means listening to and building relationships with the people standing behind me, the experienced and dedicated people who are leading our officers on the ground in neighborhoods across our city every single day. I will be looking for someone who can earn the respect of our police force while also leading needed changes to culture and protocol in a way that is firm and fair. I will be looking for someone who can practice clear communication in stressful situations. I will be looking for someone who is consistently present in Seattle, keeping travel to an appropriate minimum.
That's a good one. That would be high on my list. Are you planning on living in the state? That would be one.
How many weekends are we talking about? Yeah, I mean,
are you going to live in or near Seattle? I'm not going to force you to live in Seattle because, but you could live near Seattle. You got to be within a stone's throw of Seattle. So you can live in one of the, Bellevue, you can live in Everett, you can live in Tacoma, but you got to be close.
Well, she's hitting all the hot buttons that were the issues. We felt the issues surrounding her forced resignation of Chief Barnes.
Yeah.
And all the things we're talking about, communication, attendance.
Yeah.
All the these seems like
there.
really basic things that a mayor's going to ask for in a national search for a candidate for what would be the 9th chief of police in Seattle in just over 10 years. I mean, this is you called it. This is a bad reputation police department. This is a bad national image. I don't know if reputation's fair to say. From a leadership, I'm talking from a leadership perspective. You really said it well.
Yeah.
The people, the men and women on the ground,
we love them,
that are in our communities are respected and appreciated, trusted.
Sure.
But leadership has I said yesterday, the fish rots from the head back. It's an old world saying.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership voids.
And that fish stinks.
It stinks, man. And so what the mayor's looking for, what I really want to know is what she's not saying in this.
Great question.
Okay? She's saying all the things you're supposed to say. Work with the communities. Build trust, build relationships with communities.
Inspire.
Be here.
Be here.
Work with your force, the men and women who are doing the job. But I'm wondering if first off, does the mayor get to decide who the finalist is? There's a schedule for what this process will involve. There's a public comments are welcome, right? There's
job posting and announcement, which is currently
just happened, right?
Concurrently, she's having a public comment period where people can actually get engaged in the process.
They're going to have community outreach meetings, several of them throughout the month of September, where people can get the feedback from these communities that she says is paramount.
Yep.
And I believe her in all those things.
In the early part of fall, October, November, they're going to have kind of a review, which they're going to toss over to the advisory committee, which will be made up of law enforcement and city council, I assume. And then there'll be a final thing towards the end of the year, November, December, where she's going to whittle the candidates down to whoever the finalists are.
Yeah.
And then she will land on whoever she thinks. And then she will send it over to the council who has to approve it.
Okay, that's what I want. Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. Does she get to decide who this person is?
I don't believe she can just hire them and say that's the end of it.
She can make a recommendation.
The council has to approve.
I think it should be.
But
what I want to know is this: is she going to favor a candidate who will, of course, meet all these criteria? We hope that there'll be enough candidates for this position that will meet all these publicly facing criteria.
Mm-hmm.
But her agenda, it seems, her stated agenda, and the pillars of her administration's goals seem to be in direct conflict with what a lot of Seattle citizenry want, what the city council seems to want.
Until she was running for mayor, she was not a fan of police. You remember that?
I do remember that.
You remember how she was on the defund the police bandwagon?
Absolutely.
Until she started running, and then she suddenly understands that to get elected, you need to say that's another great question. If you're applying for this job anywhere in the country, now Seattle's a beautiful city, but if you're applying for this job anywhere and you know that she's going to be your boss, is that a very attractive job to you?
Is she going to make you doing your job harder by not wanting to give you the resources? She had to be dragged kicking and screaming to using the resources keep the city safe during the largest public event we've had in a decade, World Cup.
Do you think they'll even get applicants? I mean, honestly, to work with her?
Yeah, we will. Your question to the audience again, tell them the question of the day.
Question is, if you were mayor, what would be your criteria
what are you looking
chief
for?
of police in Seattle?
Because we'll get back to addressing this.
My number one would be, very respectfully, are you going to live in or near Seattle? That's where I would start. And then I work my way out from there. are you going to arrest for bad things? If they're breaking the law, are you going to make arrests?
Right.
That's my number one. And then after that, you go to, I mean, there's a lot of things. This could get bad, honestly. Like, if she picks somebody who's just horrible, the city council is going to be in a position where they're going to need to be like the safeguard.
Well, and some of these guys want to be mayor, then there's going to be knives out for whoever she picks.
That's a great question.
Great
question. All right, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk a little bit about Bill Gates is back in the news, and he is sounding the alarm on AI.
Right.
Very interesting. From a guy who owns a company, it's investing hundreds of billions of dollars in AI. Kind of makes you wonder. We'll talk about it next. Stick around.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by Sunset Auto Family.
It's Jonathan here from DUI Heroes, and I'm here today with a teenager who's just about to get her driver's license, and she's got some questions for me about driving, alcohol, and how to not end up in my office.
Is it okay for teens to drink, even if they don't get drunk and drive?
So in this state, the legal drinking age is 21. It's never a good idea for anybody under the age of 21 to be consuming alcohol in any circumstance. But it's even more dangerous if then you make the decision to get behind the wheel. And most people don't know that when it comes to DUIs, everybody thinks the limit is 0.08, but not if you're under 21. If you're under 21, the limit is 0.02, which means you could find yourself at 0.02, 0.03 with a DUI sitting in my office when you're not drunk, but because you drank before you were able to. That was a great question. And if you or any of your friends find yourselves this summer in contact with law enforcement, please give us a call at 1-800-DUI-HERO or online at DUIHeroes.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Did you know every qualifying vehicle at Sunset Auto Family comes with oil changes for life? That's about $150 each, and you get up to 5 a year, saving you thousands over the life of your vehicle. Visit our friends at Sunset Auto Family. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
My name is Ann. I live in the Bay Area, and I'm 68 years old. I helped my mom navigate Medicare. That was a nightmare I hope never, ever to have to go through again. It was awful for her, it was awful for me, and I just knew I never wanted to go through that. I knew that there were choices and that there were balances to be made and that it could be totally impenetrable. Chapter basically does the work for you. When you're turning 65, when you're looking at going on Medicare, they will look at all the options for you, give you advice as to what's best. One plan might be better for this, one plan might be better for that. I didn't have to do that calculation. They do the research and you don't have to pay for it. We gave a person the information, a person got back to us. You don't have to make yourself crazy.
To learn more about how you can get free personalized Medicare advice, visit chapter.com today.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at progressive.com.
At the end of a long week, Nick and I settle into our hot tub. We look at each other and go, this is the life. There's just something about the end of the week in a hot tub. John Curley here. Seattle Hot Tub knows exactly how it feels. They've got hot tubs and swim spas, cold plunges for just about every single lifestyle. A hot tub for those, quiet weekends. A swim spa in the morning when you want to get a real workout without having to go to the gym. And a cold plunge for invigorating recovery. That's what I want to get. Seattle Hot Tub Company carries American-made products from Marquee and Cow Spas. Different sizes, different features, different price points. There's no games. There's no high-pressure sales pitch. Seattle Hot Tub Company has everything you'll need, from covers, steps, starter chemicals, and local delivery support. And even financing with hot tubs as low as $90 a month. Seattle Hot Tub Company, locally owned and always there. The getaway starts in your own backyard. Find them online at seattlehottub.com.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Seattle loves to celebrate big hits, touchdowns, Seahawks, and even parades. This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson has now officially launched a national search for the city's next police chief. Wilson laid out what she wanted in a new police chief last month after the forced resignation of Sean Barnes.
I will be looking for someone who can be an effective leader of our police department from top to bottom. In particular, that means listening to and building relationships with the people standing behind me, the experienced and dedicated people who are leading our officers on the ground in neighborhoods across our city every single day.
A search advisory committee will be co-chaired by retired Washington Supreme Court Justice Mary Yu and Ian Warner, a public policy director who previously worked on SPD's federal consent decree. The city's taking public input through a survey open until September 15, starting in late September. Wilson expects to announce her pick by early 2027. A federal appeals court has sided with King County in a dispute over billions of dollars in grant funding. The Ninth Circuit ruled the Trump administration cannot impose a series of policy requirements on local governments as a condition of receiving federal funds. Officials say the ruling preserves critical money for local services and infrastructure projects. A 5-foot college wrestler is proving she can hold her own on Washington's fire lines.
I'm pretty feisty, so I have a lot of drive to just be like, I'm out here to work.
Evergreen State College junior Mariah Paz is a wildland firefighter in a field still dominated by men.
Once I say that I'm a college wrestler, a lot of them kind of respect me. But, I have to just remind a lot of the men out there, this is our job and we're out here for the same reasons.
The 21-year-old tells KIRO Newsradio wrestling has taught her the discipline and toughness she needs on the fire line. She's helped 2 Evergreen teammates get firefighting jobs too. And when the fire season ends, all 3 head back to the wrestling mat. Washington students are heading back to class this week, and Governor Ferguson wants to make sure their cell phones stay out of the classroom. Ferguson was at Pasco High School today rallying in support for a statewide K-12 cell phone ban.
Studies do show that in an academic setting, having a phone is a total distraction for kids from what we need them to do, focus on their learning.
Ferguson and the state superintendent want a statewide ban in place by the start of next school year. They're pushing lawmakers to pass the proposal next legislative session. A look at Wall Street, the Dow down nearly 80, S&P 500 up 9, NASDAQ up 13. And now a check on that commute. Here in Seattle, South 5, stop and go from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you 25 minutes. North 5, we're looking good. The only thing in your way is this brief backup approaching 520. Out toward Gortz, we have road work on State Route 3. Traffic alternating near Sunny Slope Road until 2 o'clock. Delays are minimal at this time. If you're heading through Factoria, southbound 405, you're thick till about Cold Creek Parkway, and then it opens up for you. North 5 in Fife remains a little crowded from the Tacoma Dome across the Puyallup River Bridge still as we recover from an earlier collision in the Fife Curve. And a crash still blocking both directions on Nickerson Street near SPU here in Seattle. And we have an afternoon Mariners game bringing in heavy volumes of Soto right now. Check on your KIRO News Radio weather. Those clouds are slowly open up. We should see mostly sunny skies this afternoon, topping out around 78. Thursday through Saturday, morning clouds with partial afternoon clearing and passing showers. By Saturday, that high will dip to 70. 65 and mostly cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Boy, we got a lot of stuff in the 1 o'clock rundown. I've been just reading up on all of the crazy Nepal landslide, which then led to a flash flood because of the river there. I mean, an entire town seems like it was just annihilated and just overtaken and
erased.
It looks totally erased.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look like you described earlier. It looks biblical. And man, so hundreds of people missing. There was a lot. It's normally a beautiful place, and there were tourists. There's a ton of tourists there, and there's a lot of Americans who are visiting who are now on the list of unaccounted for. So we'll get into all of that at 1 o'clock. We have some kind of startling footage to go through with you guys. So if you guys don't watch us on the live stream, you can join us then, and we'll chat about all this stuff. All right. In this segment, we'd like to do a little. We have a guy we work with here. I won't say his name because I don't know if he wants to. I don't know if he wants people to know like what a conspiracy theory he is.
He or her. Yeah.
Theorist. Yeah. Or Eeyore. Yeah. Is that what you said? An Eeyore?
No, or her, I said.
Oh, okay.
He or her. We don't want to
I already said it's a guy. He said if he were doing. He's on the sports side. Let's just say that. He's on the sports side.
Okay.
And he will often
and
stop
when he
by
works
and chat
during the
with
day,
us.
between the hours of. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And he was telling us, he goes, if I was on your guys' side of the radio, the non-sports side, he goes, the only things I would talk about are AI, and I forget what the other one was, but he's like, just AI. I was just talking about AI.
A and I.
Yeah.
He's with A and I. Two things I talk about.
Wait a minute. Are you telling us something? No, he said AI. He would just talk, he's very interested in AI. And it is very interesting. Bill Gates also has this piece. There's a piece in Seattle Times which details that Bill Gates is warning about AIs replacing humans in the workplace, and to help deter this from happening, to help at least like slow it down, he says he wants a new tax on robots. So for companies, you think about a company who's going to hire a person to do something on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
They can also now, because AI is getting very good, they can also hire a bot.
Right.
They can actually just buy a program, and they can teach that bot to complete whatever function they need, and now that job might be gone.
Right.
And so he's saying, like, we need a new tax in order to. This is what he said. He says, right now, do we have audio on this? I don't think we have any audio on this. No. He says, right now, if you're an employer and you hire someone, you pay payroll taxes on their earnings. But if you buy a robot, you can usually write it off away as a business expense. The tax system nudges you towards replacing people with machines, which does sound kind of, Terminator-y.
Well, yeah, but I mean, every model I've seen run through AI, it says, we're the unnecessary factor in this. Is the human factor. It can be done cheaper. It can be done faster. It can be done better.
Well,
without the human element.
It's interesting because AI is, it's not like in The Matrix, which again is a sci-fi movie, but it's a very good one. In The Matrix, human beings are basically just farmed by AI machines for their power source that humans create. It's like, if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, it's a good movie. You should watch it.
It's a really good movie.
But that's kind of what they're used for. They're just basically like to feed the AI. That's what humans are. They're just to feed the AI, and in order to do that, they put the humans in these little bubbles, and the humans aren't even aware that they're involved in this, a post-apocalyptic world where they just are in tiny little bubbles, and tubes are coming out of their belly buttons, and they're just feeding AI. They think they're in some simulation of a beautiful world that we would all look around and recognize as normal life.
Meanwhile, they're just caged chickens making eggs.
Yeah, basically.
Essentially,
yeah. Which does not sound comfortable.
Which is a sequel I pitched they didn't go for.
They didn't?
Ironic.
God, they should. Just Keanu Reeves squatting, just making eggs.
So Gates has this, he warns of potential job losses, rising harm.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder why. Why is he doing this?
Well, Okay, so you're probably getting at the same thing I'm getting at.
Okay, go on.
Which is that when I read anything I read now about Bill Gates, I read it with a little tiny cynicism, and I go like, is this just like him trying to distract from what he was most recently in the news about?
I imagine him sitting in his Medina home looking at the water and said, hey, AI, how can I a reclamation project on my reputation?
What can I do?
What can I do? First off, how much have you donated this year? Last month was the story of how his large donations.
Yep. Was it UW?
Yeah, UW. One of the largest
medical something.
Yep, largest donation in UW medical history.
500 million something.
Right. Now it's like, how about you sound the warning against AI? Because I look at all the, you know me, I'm a real tin hat kind of guy. I look at the Broligarchy up in the dais at the last inauguration. And there's everybody that's anybody in the tech world up there. And they're buying their way in my mind, they're buying their way in to policymakers. They're donating to ballrooms. They're doing whatever they can do because they're just getting a run roughshod over growth of their industry without what a lot of people feel is kind of adequate regulation. And Bill Gates is calling for more regulation here. He's the one guy in that arena of the uber rich, of the tech bros, he's the first guy saying, hey, man, we need some regulation here. And we got to put up some safeguards on this.
Do you think he's saying that because he's in the doghouse and he's trying to get his reputation back, even if it means kind of undercutting his own business interest a little bit?
I think a little bit. I think he had his own soul was exposed to the world.
Interesting.
And now he's saying, look, what's my legacy? We're talking about legacy. What am I going to be remembered for?
It's interesting to me because he still has a pretty big interest in Microsoft, right? He's not running the day-to-day, but I imagine he still has quite a bit of his net worth tied up in the value of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Which, as we talked about, was it just yesterday? Maybe 2 days ago when that Danny Westneat article talking about how Microsoft has got a lot of business.
Largest tax break in the country is going to Microsoft, right?
Yeah,
corporate
which I like.
Breaks.
I'm fine with that because Microsoft has invested this year alone $190 billion in AI and data centers and all that stuff. So he's at the same time talking about how we got to really pump the brakes on this AI stuff.
He's not saying tax me more. Well, a little bit. He did say some taxation.
He's saying tax robots, tax companies that use robots.
Investments in companies that eliminate human job opportunities should be taxed. I get in there. But he's just talking about reeling in his own industry, his own financial detriment. Maybe
I just don't believe it. I don't believe what he's saying is going to be harmful to him. On a bottom dollar sense.
Maybe not.
And the interesting thing too is it's the assumption that these companies adopting AI to do the job maybe faster and better means that there will be less jobs available to humans. Possibly. I will submit this.
Go ahead.
When they first invented the tractor, okay, one man can suddenly plow 100 acres.
Right.
Where it would have taken many men to plow those acres before.
Yeah.
And so you could look at that as, oh, you know what? We lost 9 jobs because one man got a tractor.
How many mules got put out of work?
Look at all the mules. But on the flip side, one man became more productive and he was able to hire more men to do more things. So maybe these companies hire AI bots who become more productive and the company is able to expand in a way that they're able to actually have more market value. They're able to provide more jobs, all these things. It's just the assumption that there's no growth of the human side of the business at all, which I just don't believe is reality.
No, it's probably some fear. There's a lot of fear-mongering. Not just some. There's probably a lot of fear-mongering into that
and
argument.
Bill Gates knows that, so that makes me wonder, it's probably more like what you were saying at the beginning, where it's what can I do to look good? Yeah. I'll get on the AI is bad bandwagon, but secretly we're investing $190 billion.
I should speak up for humans.
Yes. And everybody else is just you don't need to speak up anymore. Please don't speak up anymore.
Sit this one out.
His PR people are please don't speak up anymore. All right.
Oh, I think he's got PR consultations aplenty.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, the best in the business.
Totally right. Okay, yesterday we lost Dolly Parton. We found out that news. Another pretty beloved star. I can't think of anybody who didn't like this guy. Has passed away. We're going to talk about him next. We're going to tell you who it is and talk about him, and then just kind of go down memory lane and talk about some of the movies, the touch points for us in different generations, like what we connected to with his movies. Because man, this guy was in a lot of great stuff. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Integrity Roofing and Construction have been serving and supporting the Puget Sound community for over 10 years. If your roof is aging, storm damage, just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation. Integrity uses products that last longer and perform better. Integrity's team offers full transparency. You know exactly what your home needs and what it's going to cost before you spend a dime. With locations from Issaquah to Sequim and Everett to Gig Harbor, they are where you need them to be, right on your home. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com, where doing the right thing matters.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
All right, I'm talking with Phil Mitchell, who is a new buddy, and he's also an advertiser on the show. Phil, I'm really interested in people's stories. You have a pretty amazing background. You own Sunset Auto Family. You employ a lot of people. You do great business in the community, but you started at the bottom. Tell me a little bit about that.
Jake, I started in the car business as a lot attendant, basically washing cars with a hose and soap and water, and just happened to, be in the right position at the right time, started selling cars and did pretty good at that and became a sales manager. And I've had a lot of great mentors that have helped me and guided me. And so now it's my turn to be a mentor and try to do the same thing for somebody else.
That's fantastic. How many years have you been in this business now?
I've been in it a long time, so I know every inch. I've done just about every job you can do in it. It's a family business. My son's in the business. He runs one of the stores.
Well, let me tell you what. I got 4 sons. One of them is looking for a job in about 4 years.
Bring him down, buddy.
I'm going to send him to the Sunset Auto Family.
I got a hose and bucket. Let's go.
I love it. Go see him at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, LLC, and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
KIRO News Radio is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the KIRO News Radio app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at mynorthwest.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
All right, welcome back to the show. Yesterday, Dolly Parton, news was released that Dolly Parton had passed away. She was 80 years old. Very, very sad. Just beloved the world over. There's been a lot of conversations about how really that was a unique time for stars. She was beloved by everyone. And somehow she crossed so many generations. She was in the business for like 60-something years.
Right.
And when I got the very strange thing, yesterday I get home from doing the show. I get home probably around 4:30 or something last night. Hot, beautiful night, by the way. Really nice.
Gorgeous evening.
Gorgeous evening. Wind starts blowing through. The day was too hot, but the wind was blowing through at night. Got a nice breeze. It had dropped down to like high 70s with a breeze, which is just it's just perfect. My kids are all outside. They're playing in the driveway with one of the neighbor kids, and they're all talking about Dolly Parton. And my youngest is 6 years old. He's actually 7 today. Happy birthday, buddy. But they were all talking about Dolly Parton. And I'm like, how do you guys know who Dolly Parton is? And they were singing 9 to 5. All just as kind of a little thing. Number one, these kids don't have access to the internet. So I don't know how it works that they know things. There's some kid network where they're all just communicating and sharing information together. And then two, why they would settle on 9 to 5. When I can't get these kids to do anything, and that song is about hard work. I don't know the answers to those things, but here's what I do know: we do
about you, man.
We do have another. Yeah. No, they do hard work. They're good kids. We have another star that I actually feel. We were talking about this, what stars are beloved by everyone, and then another guy just passed away today. It was announced that Tim Curry, famous for what's the movie that you know Tim Curry for? When I say Tim Curry,
Rocky Horror Picture Show,
instantly for
Absolutely,
you.
Yeah.
Okay, for me. Tim Curry instantly is Home Alone 2. He is the hotel manager in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
And that's what I know him from because that was the pivotal movie that I was first introduced him to. And then in a secondary position, it would be Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Do you remember
That's
him
right.
as Captain Hook or Captain, what's his face? Long John Silver.
Yeah.
Right?
Long John
The
Silver.
black spot.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, you're right.
Wasn't that such a beautiful movie? I mean, so great. And the Muppets have released a statement about Tim Curry.
Kermit wrote something. That's so nice.
Kermit wrote something, which is very nice.
Oh, dude.
Let me read this to you. This is a statement from the Muppets about the tragic passing of Tim Curry.
You read it as Kermit?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is right there. It's in the middle.
Few humans have earned the title of honorary Muppet more than the legendary Tim Curry. As a performer, he was unparalleled, witty, charming, unnerving, and deeply funny. We will always consider it one of our greatest treasures to have been part of Long John Silver's crew. Thank you for everything, Tim.
Isn't that sweet? Very nice, Kermit, by the way.
Thank you very much. God, I love that man.
Isn't that so sweet? And very sad that he passed away. But he had, was it a stroke that he had back
stroke.
10 years ago or so?
Yeah, I think maybe 10, 12 years ago, and he'd struggled with it physically. Never really recovered from it. Did very limited interviews in the last years of his life.
Yeah.
There's a thing that, says a lot about who you are from where you know Tim Curry from.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was Annie, he was Rooster, part of the couple that wanted to kidnap Annie and ransom her.
God, about like
He
the
was
TV,
Rooster.
the movie one.
The movie Annie with Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
He was Rooster in that. Or Rocky Horror.
Hunt for Red October. He's the doctor.
Red October, right? It. He was the Pennywise It in the 2-episode first.
Do not remind me about it.
Right?
That
Tim Curry
scared the heck out of me.
Oh.
In fact, it upset me that he could be that guy and the Home Alone.
Well, Muppets Treasure Island terrified me as a child.
He's
Speaking
pretty
of
terrifying.
scary roles.
You know, I'd forgotten all about Treasure Island. And that was such a classic piece of work.
Yeah, really great. All right, we have 1 o'clock rundown coming up next. We're going to get into a lot of stuff, including everything that's going on in Nepal. Just terrifying story. But that and much more coming up next. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
The media's in the passenger seat. The government's driving the bus. Problem is, I don't know how the government gets people's trust back, and I don't know how the media gets the trust back as well. We've become a low-trust society. I don't know if we're as bad as the former USSR or Russia is now. Truth is whatever anybody pays it to be, and somebody wants to believe it for whatever reason somebody wants to believe it.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Jazz Alley invites you to an evening with internationally acclaimed contemporary jazz pianist and composer Keiko Matsui. August 27th through the 30th. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Simon Phillips and Protocol 6.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 31st, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years for new Xfinity customers. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix it.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, buying a used car can be stressful. Sunset Auto Family takes that stress away with a 48-hour used vehicle exchange policy. You pick it out, you drive it for a couple days. If it's not the right fit, they'll help you find one that is. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A court hearing set for tomorrow for the Kennedy Center's fate. New court filings by the Justice Department claiming the performing arts facility could face financial fallout and structural decline if a judge blocks renovation plans and Donald Trump's name is not allowed on the facade. ABC's Catherine Falder says more.
The Justice Department argues that that actually has benefited the Kennedy Center, Trump's name on the outside of the building, despite reporting from the Washington Post that actually has reported that ticket sales have been down. I'm sure the judge will have questions about that as well.
Brian Kohberger granted a new hearing in his bid to reverse his guilty plea in the stabbing murders of 4 Idaho college students in 2022. Kohberger initially said he was innocent, but admitted to the killings and pleaded guilty in July 2025. He's serving 4 consecutive life sentences. A judge setting a new hearing for June of next year. On Wall Street this hour, stocks are mixed in afternoon trading. This is ABC News. Tributes are pouring in from around the world following the death of superstar country legend Dolly Parton. Her 7-decade career crossed music genres and cultural boundaries and also included branching out into charity works and humanitarian projects.
Even if Dolly Parton, the musician, never reached you, Dolly Parton, the humanitarian, probably did. For decades, she used her fame and fortune to give back. In 1988, she started the Dollywood Foundation with a mission to inspire children in her home county of Sevier, Tennessee.
Won't you help me? All of you help me. I think I can. I think I can.
The foundation later expanding its reach through initiatives like the Imagination Library, inspired by her father, who could not read or write.
ABC's Hannah Battah. Louisiana boasts on its state's license plates it's a sportsman's paradise. It now may become the latest launch pad for SpaceX rockets. Founder Elon Musk detailing plans for a massive facility along the Gulf Coast. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A teacher's strike looms days before the Seattle school year starts. More on that straight ahead. First, a check on your traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union. Down in Lakewood, we have a new collision, North 5, just past Bridgeport Way. It's blocking that right lane, and we've got a bumper-to-bumper backup stretching back almost to Thorn Lane. Olympia to Tacoma right now is at 40 minutes. Here in Seattle, South 5 heavy from Northgate into downtown. North 5 is getting heavy at the West Seattle Bridge past I-90. Another thick backup approaching 520. South 405, we're slow from South Bellevue into Newcastle. Bellevue to South Center will take you 20 minutes. And here in Seattle, both directions of Nickerson Street remain closed between 3rd Avenue by SPU around the corner to 12th Avenue as we have a fatality investigation underway. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Nearly 50,000 Seattle Public Schools students could see the start of school delayed. The Seattle Times reports the teachers' union votes tonight on whether to authorize a strike. As of earlier this week, the two sides still hadn't agreed on 50 items. The biggest sticking points are teachers' time and teachers' pay. The current contract runs out Sunday. If no deal is reached by then, a strike could begin the first day of school next Tuesday. The last teachers' strike in 2022 delayed the school year by 5 days. Meta will pay up to $17.1 billion to settle claims it harmed young users on Facebook and Instagram. Washington is guaranteed at least $237 million from that agreement. Attorney General Nick Brown says Meta fought similar protections when they were proposed in Olympia.
Meta pushed back hard, claiming to legislators and leaders in Olympia that the changes and reforms that we sought were impossible. But this settlement proves that that was a lie.
The settlement now requires daily time limits, overnight restrictions, stronger parental controls, and limits on notifications during the school year. Pierce County deputies say 40 to 50 people were outside Marco's Cantina in Parkland early this morning when a dispute led to gunfire just after 1 a.m. James Lynch has details.
Pierce County deputies say one man was hit in the shooting, but his injuries are non-life-threatening. The scene was so chaotic, Washington State Patrol and Lakewood Police were called in just to manage the large crowd. Deputy Carly Capetto says even in such a crowd, no one is talking.
We know that people have information. We know that they saw something. So we're really hoping after they've had some time to think about the seriousness of what happened, they'll come forward to want to speak with us.
If you have any information about this shooting, call 911. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Well, Seattle Seahawks fans, you've got one more reason to make some noise. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gouchard reports.
USA Today has ranked Lumen Field the best stadium in the NFL. This puts the Seahawks home ahead of the legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. USA Today praised Lumen's ear-splitting crowd noise, views of downtown Seattle, and the upgrades added for the 2026 World Cup. The ranking says the famous roof design helps bounce crowd noise right back onto the field, making life miserable for opposing teams. So congratulations, Seahawks fans. You can officially tell everyone you're number one. Katrina Gouchard, KIRO News Radio.
And now your KIRO News Radio weather, 78 with afternoon sun today. It's starting to peak out now. Thursday, those morning clouds will linger all day with isolated showers and a high near 74. Pretty much the same forecast Friday and Saturday with highs edging closer to 70. Mostly cloudy and 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. This is 1 o'clock, which means it's the 1 o'clock rundown. Top stories coast to coast. But we're going to start with an international story. This is in Nepal. Have you been watching? Just the visuals of this are just really jaw-dropping. And we're gonna have some of these here in just a couple minutes when we are talking about it. But what you have is essentially you have a glacier, a big chunk of ice breaks off a glacier, causes a landslide, rock slide down a mountain. There's a river there, obviously a big change in where water can be because there's suddenly a landslide filling where it used to be water.
Right.
All that water then gets sent downriver. There's a town downriver, and we watch these. I mean, can we put up some of these, Laura, as we're talking here?
More than 300 tourists are missing, including 33 Britons and 54 Americans.
Yes. Yeah. They're saying right now 150, they're saying, is the number that they're counting is more than 150 dead. Hundreds missing.
Yeah, 400, over 400 missing.
Oh, 400 missing. Okay. Yeah. I don't even know how you begin to try and start picking up the pieces after something like this, because all the infrastructure is gone to even address, like, how do you even go in there and now look for the missing? I mean, as we're watching this on the screen,
well, a lot of times
it's just water.
Yeah, a lot of times in places like this, the communications are knocked out with this kind of a natural disaster.
Yep.
So
it's already in a remote area too.
Right. It's in a remote. It's the Tibet-Nepal border. And, oftentimes they do find a large number of folks who were just fleeing and unaccounted for, not necessarily lost to this tragedy, but the death tolls, and these always end up in, most of those missing end up never recovered or
never found.
Deceased.
Yeah, a lot of time never found.
This is walls of water, which brings walls of mud, which changes the entire landscape.
This is a report from the BBC talking about the rush to try to save lives.
It's a race to save lives before night falls in Nepal after a flash flood and mudslide tore through villages and swept away bridges. Hundreds of travelers are currently unaccounted for. The true scale of this disaster, and the number of casualties is still emerging. Multiple casualties have been confirmed, but this is an extremely remote area, and so information is still trickling in. It's in Rasua, which is north of the capital, Kathmandu, and near the border with Tibet. Police have said dozens of their own officers are unaccounted for, and they're struggling to reach them. Sadly, Nepal is no stranger to flash floods. 18 people did die last year in the same area, but this time after a glacier burst on the Chinese side of the border. Search and rescue operations are continuing, and districts downstream are now on high alert.
This is interesting. This is from the BBC, who's doing a great job updating on this story. But they say these rocks may have generated some volume of water, the rocks and the ice, which fell. Because of the friction between the rocks and the ice when they were falling down, the remaining debris of rocks and sediments created a dam on the river below, obstructing its flow initially. So it built up this huge reservoir of water, which then eventually breaches
and breaks through
pretty quickly, and then breaks through, basically just becomes this giant wall of water.
Yeah.
And then it just chases itself down the mountain. And when you look at too, like we're talking about like steep chasms and it's where there's nowhere for this water to spread out to.
And population is centered along these narrow little...
Along these rivers. They make their life, these little towns, which are just built. And, these are not like super well-constructed villages.
No.
And they're just built up. You used to travel around with, what was
World
the
Vision.
World Vision.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever get out to this area?
No, we went to Bangladesh, which is in this, I guess, not the Far East. It's not the Middle East. It's somewhere between.
Yeah.
So I've been in remote areas like this before, but it's mostly jungle. It's mostly tidal. Nepal is surrounded by India, mostly tidal. It's not in the mountainous areas of where these places are.
But you're visiting an area that has similar infrastructure.
Right. Very,
problems.
very restricted transportation capacities, to communication capacities. Electrical grids don't exist.
The way the construction is.
I talked to you before about how we saw that building, that 10, 12-story building being built by hand in Bangladesh.
Just those bricks they're making on site.
Here. Right, they're making bricks and they're mixing concrete, in a wheelbarrow and building skyscrapers, and that's the kind of construction you see in this tragedy. And when we had the recent mega earthquake, was it Venezuela or Argentina?
Okay.
And I think it was Argentina.
No, it was.
I apologize.
We should remember this.
But the point being that the construction.
Colombia. Was it Colombia?
It was Colombia. Thank you. It was Colombia, Southern Colombia. But the construction in these portions of the world, we take for granted so much the safety and the technology used in our modern construction of the civilized, developed world.
Yeah.
That places like today's, Nepal-Tibet border, they don't enjoy the same security of technology and modern construction that we do. So when something like this happens, buildings are just carried away. There's a video of see the bridge being carried away in that one video?
just floats away. What's interesting though is even if they did have, I would wonder what kind of damage, even if they had modern construction of buildings.
If that type of water comes
of water coming at you, that wall of water, and then all the ice and all the debris that's coming along with it would just be, would be just as devastating, I would imagine.
We had the Skagit Valley flooding, or the Skagit flooding up last winter from the back-to-back of atmospheric rivers we had. But it was devastating and tragic, but it was gradual. This is just...
that's a massive... The water has a place to go.
Right. This is just a release of, literally, you call it like a dam bursting and coming through these mountain chasms and taking away villages and hundreds of lives.
Just a wild story. So if you're a praying person, say your prayers, and we'll update you on this as we know more about it. All right. This is a closer to home story. Let's get to our second story in the 1 o'clock rundown. Meta. This was a big deal. This was did this break right before we got on the air?
I believe it came
a couple hours ago.
Yeah, the settlement was reached this morning.
So Meta was involved in a lawsuit. There was a bunch of states that were suing this federal lawsuit against Meta, basically saying that you guys have harmful and were aware of harmful practices when it came to basically addicting kids to Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
And
the business model was to
addict kids to your product. And so that was saying that, because it's addictive and these kids are, on these platforms, there's all these mental health problems that are now associated with your product because of the usage for these kids. So Meta has settled for, I think the max they said they can settle for was it 16.7, something like that?
17.1 billion.
17.1 billion. Okay. Do you think this is going to have a huge effect on Meta, or is this going to be, let's see here, is this going to be just kind of a bump in the road?
That's a great question, because when I first saw the number and heard the story this morning, $17.1 billion, that's a parking ticket to Meta.
You think so?
They make that, and that's their profit margin for about a month. So maybe 6 weeks, I heard this morning.
Jeez.
Right? So my question then was, what else came in the settlement?
Addiction's a good business.
It's a great business to be in.
It's crazy.
So my thought was, okay, what other concessions did these 47 states plus the District of Columbia who were involved in this suit, what other concessions did Meta agree to? Because they were suing for like $200 billion, I think it was, the number that they were seeking in damages.
They settled for a tenth?
$17 billion. Well, you don't have to go to trial. But there's no, with all settlements, no admission of guilt on Meta's part, which kind of prohibits or limits their liability in future.
But they do have to agree to make some changes to the platform.
Right, that's what I was asking. What are they going to change? They're going to restrict, and Nate mentioned this in the newscast too, restrict teenage users to 2 hours a day on their platforms.
That's insane.
They're going to stop any use between midnight and 6 a.m. Absent parental consent.
Can we pause on these for just a second?
Sure, because this is the meat of it.
I'd like to double click on that for a half second.
Thank you.
Number one, limit them to 2 hours on these platforms.
Right.
What kind of time do these kids have where they got 2 hours to spend on, this is just one of the sites. There's a lot of different social media sites.
Right.
If your kid is spending 2 hours on any of these social media sites, run in the opposite direction.
Well,
it's not good.
Isn't the average 6 though?
I think it is something. I mean, I think for what was it for the teen girls? It was like 7 on TikTok or something like that.
Daily. And if these restrictions go over to their other platforms, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, they'll also be beneficial to teens. But and also they're going to limit push notifications or disable push notifications to teenagers during the school days, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is helpful, right? Mm-hmm. All this is helpful.
Yeah.
To me, it's they're selling smaller bags of dope. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you, because they're not changing the way they do business. The business model is to entrap people, ensnare people, addict people. Right? And so, okay, you're only addicting for 2 hours a day instead of 6. You're still feeding people.
Addicting.
Yeah, you're still addicting. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're not changing your algorithm or your business model, which we know was predatory. It was inside their internal documentation, was that they used mechanisms that were addicting to young minds, and they were warned by insiders. These were addicting young minds, and they said, well, our business model is to do this, so we're not going to make these changes because our business is to be in business and make money. So this is such not enough, in my mind, for the problem facing this next generation of social media use and all the negative effects of that. I mean, you guys are taking a stand in your home against your kids being on social media.
You're not allowed to have phones.
That is
no social media, no phones.
That's commendable, dude. And I mean, you see places like Australia, which is banning any social media accounts under 16.
Yeah.
France, I think, are doing it, but there's a pushback from the courts. They're challenging its legality to ban 16-year-olds and under from having social media accounts. I mean, Meta's not going to change the way they do business, just how much of it they release on the public.
It's interesting. It's a small percentage of, like you said, it's a small percentage of what they were.
It's a parking ticket, man.
What's interesting about this is I do feel like the big headline for inside Meta that they're probably freaking out about is they've just, this is tantamount to an admission of guilt. Other people, I'm sure there's 1,000 other lawsuits that are already in the pipeline, or they're already like just teed up, ready to go. If they settle for $16.7 billion, I mean, I can't imagine that they're not going to have to pay out a lot of other lawsuits over time. And if you become like the target that's easy to hit, that everybody suddenly can get money out of, that business model gets tricky. Investment in that business, growth in that business gets tricky. Now, they're already so huge that maybe that's not a huge concern for them.
Cost of doing business.
What I'm hoping is that parents will wake up and you go, why are you letting your kids on this? Like, the number one thing that freaks me out, it's not the addiction part of it as much. The fact that whatever is built in to keep kids swiping. Mm-hmm. That's not the problem that I have with it. The problem that I have with it is you are giving someone else who is not you influence over your children's lives. And there's nothing more precious in this world than your kids. And you don't know who these psychos might be. They might just be bad actors. They might be people who have horrible intents, who are just trying to like get close to kids and teach them horrible things. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's bad stuff. And so as a parent,
it might just be the kid you didn't want your kid playing with in the neighborhood. I
mean, it's all of that.
The spectrum of potential danger.
But imagine
and harm
1,000 of those kids that you don't want your kids playing with, all having direct input into your kid's life in a way that's like the delivery mechanism is so effective because it's bright and shiny and it comes with a face
and they
emoji.
gear it to send the worst people to your kid. They're bussing in bad friends to your kid's neighborhood, you know, with the way they do business.
It's horrible.
There are algorithms that what they steer to.
You're right. It's like they're bringing kids to your neighborhood that you do not want your kids playing
seriously. With. And again, they're going to just limit how many hours a day they sell dope to your kid. I apologize. That's a bad analogy.
What? Like, I hope that parents approach this the same way that they would smoking. Like, it's illegal to, you can't if you're under 18. Is it 18?
18.
Is it 21 now? It might be 21 in Washington State.
Good question. It might be 21, but I think if you're old enough to vote, join the army, you're going to get a cigarette. Might be.
Can you look that up, Laura? What's the age of smoking in Washington? For some reason, I thought it was 21. I thought it was the same as alcohol.
It ought to be 70. It ought to be 70. If you want to start smoking,
is it 21?
It is 21.
It's 21.
It used to be 18. Now it's 21.
Okay, so
as of 2020.
Thanks, tobacco.
As of 2020.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, right.
It's obviously possible that kids can still find their way to a cigarette. They can still find a cigarette.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I'm hoping is that parents, just like they'll still be able to find their way to these stupid social media sites, I'm hoping that parents go like, hey, you know what? Let's explain to the kids why this is so bad.
Yeah.
So that it becomes like, smoking really has it's persona non grata. I never see people smoking anymore. When I was growing up, like everybody I knew smoked. Everyone.
I found a cigarette machine in a business. I mean, there was actually I hadn't seen one in 20 years.
And it was an operation?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's definitely getting popular again.
Smoking?
What? Yeah, among like Gen Z. Because first there were the vapes, right? So everybody was vaping, and that was the new thing. And now everyone's addicted, and now it's sort of cool and a little more unique to smoke an actual cigarette.
I guess if bell bottoms are.
That's right, big pants and smoking. I will say, though, in full honesty, like when you see it in old movies.
Smoking?
They do make it look very cool.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. You're like, yeah, James Dean's pretty cool looking dude.
Yeah, you're right.
He drives fast cars. Yeah. Doesn't end up well.
I'm sorry to laugh.
Fun while it lasted.
Yeah, but it's like
coolest person ever.
Yeah,
they gotta. Well,
your point about
they gotta get social media to look dorky.
But just your point about thousands of lawsuits coming in, in the pipeline, you're not wrong, man. And I think one of the reasons they don't change their business model, how they do business.
Mm-hmm.
Is because that would admit that they were doing something that they knew was wrong, and that would open them up to even probably more litigation down the road.
But they are changing. They have, as part of this, they do have to change part of their business.
But just the hours of operation.
Yeah.
Right? Again,
yeah, but that's admitting. I mean, they're not paying $17 billion because they're saying we're doing it right.
Well, and G brought up something because G and Ursula talked about this, and G brought up something too. This is great. We're protecting the kids, but a lot of you, me, and the other adults in the room are also addicted to this and subjected to the ways they.
We all got to unplug.
Absolutely,
all of us.
And they feed me. We talk about our feeding times coming up. I have to make a conscious effort not to be angered every day because of this thing in my hand.
Heck yeah,
every day, and they're purposely.
And you're a grown adult.
Yeah.
You and I have nearly fully functioned medulla oblongatas, but these kids.
Yeah, I dare to dream.
They don't.
They don't. And it's clay, and we're just shooting bullets at it.
Crazy. All right, we didn't have time to get to the third story. It's a good one, though. We should come back to this. Alaska, there's a couple of Dan Sullivans running in Alaska.
Yeah.
And he made it past. Alaska has a system where it's the top 4 finishers make it to the
to the general
election. So he made it past the primary.
Right.
And the question that I have for you, I would like to do, and we should do this maybe later in the show.
Okay.
But I would like to do a Spike's court.
Okay.
I'm going to make you the judge.
I'm
going to present you evidence about this guy, and you tell me whether or not that he is a secret operative meant to take some votes away from the incumbent Dan Sullivan up in Alaska.
Okay.
So I'll read you some stuff about him, and then you make a decision.
I'd love to.
Okay. Because the courts have said he's free to run. Yeah. He can run as Dan Sullivan.
His name.
That's his name.
Didn't change it.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so we'll get into that in just a little bit. But next, coming up, we got your question of the day responses. Katie Wilson is now officially looking for a new police chief in Seattle. We asked you, if you were hiring a new chief of police, what's your criteria? What do you want? We got a lot of great responses. We'll get into some of that when we come back. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
The media's in the passenger seat. The government's driving the bus. Problem is, I don't know how the government gets people's trust back, and I don't know how the media gets the trust back as well. We've become a low-trust society. I don't know if we're as bad as the former USSR or Russia is now. Truth is whatever anybody pays it to be, and somebody wants to believe it for whatever reason somebody wants to believe it.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. I want to tell you about an experience that I recently had at the Sunset Auto Family, and it's why you should go there. I was picking out a new SUV. I got a big family. I needed 3 rows. I thought I wanted all the tech and the bells and the whistles and the wraparound screens and all the fun stuff. Turns out what I really wanted was a truck. So what I did was, thankfully, Sunset has this 48-hour used vehicle exchange. I talked to my buddy Derek Riley at Sunset Chevrolet. He got me into a beautiful new hybrid truck that fits me like a glove. I was able just to exchange the vehicles. Simple as that. It means that if you take a used vehicle home and you have second thoughts, just like I did, bring it back. Pick out something else. Simple as that. And if in 48 hours you have second thoughts, bring it back. No pressure, no fear of making a mistake. With oil changes for life, repairs for life, warranty protection for life, Sunset Auto Family, they've got you covered from every angle. This is the biggest no-brainer in a world of no-brainers. Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner, Sunset Ford of Sumner, Sunset Kia of Auburn. You just get more at Sunset, and people like me do like that.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
You know that feeling on a Friday night after a long week and all you want to do is just get away from everything? What if you didn't have to go anywhere? John Curley here. Seattle Hot Tub Company carries hot tubs, swim spas, and cold plunges for every lifestyle. A hot tub for those quiet evenings under the stars, swim spa for the morning workout, and cold plunge for recovery. All American-made products, different sizes, different features, different price points. Always clearly marked. There's no games and no high-pressure sales. Find them online at seattlehottub.com.
My name is Jeff. I live in Northern California, and I am 65 years old, actually 65 and a half as of 2 days ago. I've been practicing medicine for 37 years. People have this impression that doctors know insurance, that they understand insurance. Let me assure you they do not. Medicare is complex. It's really complex, and the government did not make it easy to understand. Chapter really helps you understand it. They talked me through what my options were, and then they helped me tailor-make a plan. One of the things that really impressed me with Chapter was the human touch element of it. I was not talking to an AI agent. I was talking to a real person who answered my questions. And not only that, but they remembered the particulars from our last conversation. They really weren't just being a representative, that they actually cared about me as a person. And that sounds cliche, but it makes all the difference in the world.
To learn more about how you can get free personalized Medicare advice, visit chapter.com today. Again, that's chapter.com.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we are meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if the natural effects of aging are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from aging. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic has been treating the undesirable effects of aging for nearly 30 years. They have more clinical experience with actual patient care than any longevity practice in the country. I've been a patient for 17 years. Wow, time flies when you got a lot of energy. I don't know where I'd be today without longevity. Longevity Medical Clinic was started so people can get back to living life on their own terms, walking, working, exercising, and enjoying the moments that matter most. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com.
Jazz Alley invites you to an evening with internationally acclaimed contemporary jazz pianist and composer Keiko Matsui. August 27th through the 30th, tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Simon Phillips and Protocol 6.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A federal judge today cleared the way for the Postal Service to restrict mail-in voting ahead of the midterms. That ruling comes after the Supreme Court said legal challenges were premature. But this fight is far from over as a coalition of Democratic-led states, including Washington, filed a new lawsuit today. The update from KIRO News Radio's Tim Holt.
The state is challenging a new Postal Service rule that would change how mailed ballots are processed. It comes just 2 days after the Supreme Court lifted an earlier injunction against the president's push to restrict mail-in voting. Secretary of State Steve Hobbs says we're only 6 weeks from ballots being mailed out.
And less than 3 weeks, we mail to our overseas voters, most of whom are uniformed service members protecting our democracy.
The new rule would require additional barcodes and Postal Service processing. Hobbs and Attorney General Nick Brown hope a federal court will block it as quickly as possible. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Part of the closing bell report, and tech titan NVIDIA just released its earnings after the close today, reporting better than expected results. Second quarter revenue topping $96 billion. The company now expects to make more than $100 billion next quarter. Investors have been waiting on these earnings all day. It led to a bit of a sell-off on Wall Street, with the Dow losing 113. NASDAQ down 21, S&P off 1.5 points. T-Mobile cutting another 77 jobs across the state and closing 6 stores, including in Seattle, Bothell, and Tacoma. A state filing posted today says layoffs begin September 21st. This is the latest round of cuts at the Bellevue-based carrier, which has slashed more than 4,600 jobs nationwide so far this year. Bill Gates out today with a 6,000-word essay warning that we are blowing it on artificial intelligence. ABC's Wayne Cabot explains.
Bill Gates says the computer industry that he championed is now a global threat. Gates saying he's in a state of shock as to why there's not more urgency on AI. He says on semaphore, self-regulation, championed by so many in the industry and the White House, is not working. And he'll gladly debate anyone opposing mandatory reviews of any AI system that could be weaponized to make new molecules and unleash a pandemic. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
It's a new era for the Seahawks. NFL owners giving unanimous approval today to the Kosla family to buy the Seahawks from the Paul Allen estates for a record $9.6 billion. The deal expected to close next month before the season opener on September 9th. Now let's go to the real-time traffic desk at 1:33 and check in with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. It's brought to you by Seattle Sports. Got a collision in Federal Way, North 5 approaching South 288 that's blocking the HOV lane. Got a mile or so back up right now. Down in Lakewood, North 5 just past Bridgeport Way. That earlier crash has been moved to your right shoulder. Still dealing with scattered backup starting near Berkeley. Olympia to Tacoma's at 45 minutes, about a 10-minute delay. Going the other way, Tacoma to Olympia, wide open. There's nothing in your way. South 5 into Seattle still heavy from Northgate into downtown. North 5 is heavy from the West Seattle Bridge to I-90. You'll jam up again approaching 520 to the Ship Canal Bridge. South 405 slows from South Bellevue into Renton. Nothing real heavy here. In fact, Bellevue to South Center is still looking good at just 20 minutes. And here in Seattle, we have a fatality investigation near SPU. Both directions of Nickerson Street are closed near 6th Avenue. No estimation when this will reopen. It's been closed for about an hour now. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Now to your forecast, it's going to be a nice afternoon today. Mostly sunny skies, highs in the mid-70s. Chance for some light rain later on this week, Friday through Saturday afternoon. Right now, 70 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Time for our question of the day responses. These are becoming very, very popular. We do appreciate all the responses you guys send in. There's a ton of these, and you guys have great insights. Actually, what they should do, what Katie Wilson should do, Mayor of Seattle, she's looking for a new police chief right now.
Yep.
We should send her all of these. She could put them all into Claude and find out like what's the best thing that would make a new police chief given these responses, and then just hire whoever that person is based on these. Because you guys nailed it.
She does have public comments and public input requests. There are numerous opportunities.
Yeah,
come up
but
in
none of them
September.
are as smart as our audience.
No. Well,
none of them,
hopefully
by
some
far.
of these folks will get into these public gatherings.
So our question today to you was, if you were the mayor of Seattle, which, look at Katie Wilson's the mayor of Seattle. Crazier things have happened. You could easily be mayor of Seattle. If you were mayor of Seattle, what would be your criteria for a new police chief? I'm not wrong there. Am I wrong?
This is the word. Crazier things have happened. It's never been a truer statement.
How cool is it that everybody listening knows you too could be the mayor of a major city, the 14th biggest city in the country?
Yeah.
If she can do it, by golly, so can you. All right, so that was our question, you guys. And you want to just fire away, Spike?
Well, I love Elliot in Seattle, who really didn't have anything to say, but felt he could chime in anyway. It's great. Elliot says, that's a tough question. I don't have a unique perspective into the police department.
Oh, that's true. And she does have that secret window.
I do have a different window into our police department than they do. And I'm making the decision that I believe is best and urgent at this time for our police department and for this city.
Elliot, you rock, man.
Good job, Elliot. Ben from Mercer Island says, what the heck does Katie Wilson know about leadership? That's a good question. I think that's kind of like the big question in the background is, I don't know anybody out there who thinks Katie Wilson is like, and I'm not trying to be mean to her. I'm just telling you what I think the general feeling about Katie Wilson is. She's not super qualified for that job. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it's bared out to be true from the evidence of her six months in office.
6, 7, however long it's been. Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't have the experience that we all hoped she could do without in doing this job, but that hasn't borne out to be true.
So is it possible for somebody with no experience to identify somebody else as having the experience necessary to do a very, very difficult job? I mean, Katie Wilson's job is interesting because she's like she's the political head of the city. Mm-hmm. She's the executive of Seattle. Yeah. But she was elected through a political process, which is fine. The chief of police, that person has to uphold the laws. I mean, she does as well. I understand, but she's not going out making arrests. This is the person whose job is responsible to go out and get the bad guys, go out and make arrests of the people doing drugs, keep the streets clean.
It's maybe that's an interesting. I hadn't thought about that, but the chief of police is kind of almost the same as the mayor in so much that he's an executive.
Yeah, it is kind of a political.
He's got to manage resources. He's got to lead by example. Got to lead by example. Got to run numerous departments. Have a chain of command that's functioning.
All good things.
All good things.
Go for it.
Nathan and Elma says, what I want the Seattle mayor to look for in a new police chief is someone completely opposite of herself. Confident, experienced, skilled, knowledgeable of the city, and able to take responsibility for their actions and not run away from legit journalists. Size of forehead is not a big deal breaker, but the ability to not kick a soccer ball awkwardly is.
This is interesting, actually. Nathan, by the way, thank you very much for your text. Very good. Very funny. Would it be out of bounds to say that she should try to find somebody who is from the area? We have had a lot of police chiefs who have been, like right now, for whatever reason, they're plucking a lot of police chiefs from Chicago, which I wouldn't say is a city who's like knocking it out of the park as far as public safety goes.
It's another great question. I mean, knowledge of the area and its intricacies is probably a benefit, but
wouldn't it be nice to have like a hometown police chief
up from within?
Somebody who grew up here, who knows the region.
Yeah.
What's wrong with a hometown hero? Nothing.
Well, I think the scope of the job means I think you need experience in leading a major city, or at least a larger mid-major city in the police department. With regard to how many different resources you have to manage, how many different lifestyles you have to encompass in your service of the city from a law enforcement perspective.
Sure.
Maybe you do need big city experience that you can't get from Graham or Skycomish or whatever, I mean, there's executive leadership.
I don't know. It works in baseball. You play the minor leagues in baseball, and you make it up to the big league, and you either hit a home run or you strike out.
Yeah, skill is skill is skill.
We've had a lot of big city transfers. We have people come in. I mean, where was Barnes? He was from somewhere like Wisconsin. I wouldn't say that was
Barnes is Wisconsin. I believe it's Madison or something.
But he lived in Chicago. But I wouldn't say that was like a massive city. That was Seattle would be a step up for him.
Yeah, and it was. And it was supposed to be a stepping stone for him by all accounts.
That's what it felt
like. He had
like.
bigger visions.
All right, Roger in 206. What she ain't saying is going along with what I say, or what you won't, or you won't have a job.
What she ain't saying, because we asked, what is she? What is she saying?
Go along with what I say, or you won't have a job.
Right. It's what she's not saying publicly that's going to determine what she thinks is going to make a good police chief.
Yeah.
Katie Wilson left out one. This is from Rich in 253. Katie Wilson left out one important thing. The number one question should be: are you willing to arrest lawbreakers?
It really does all come down to that. If you hire someone who believes that you shouldn't be arresting somebody for drug use,
public open air drug
use, which is kind of what they were doing in the most recent.
That was one of the platforms she ran on for mayor. Was it this, care first?
If that's not in her own personal criteria of things that she believes, then it's probably not going to transfer to the police chief either. If that is interesting. If you have a police chief who comes in, would be stellar at the job, has just cleaned up wherever they came from, knocked it out of the park, looks great, comes in and says you know what, I just want you to know, Mayor, I plan on arresting all these drug addicts that you have littering your streets and making it very difficult for businesses to survive downtown and smearing feces all over the stuff. I'm going to arrest those people. She's going to go, oh, next.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Kirk in Mount Vernon says she's going to pick someone that is her puppet. She'll pick somebody that aligns with her. But then if something happens, she'll throw them under the bus. This person will have the job for about 2 years, and then the city will have to pay for their full salary.
Is this a text from last year?
I was going to say,
that all sounds so familiar.
Exactly what happened.
2360 says, I'd start with the rank and file. What do officers want? What kind of culture is SPD going forward? It's a great point.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to text our buddy Kent Liu. He's the president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild. I'm going to ask him, what do the Seattle police officers want in new leadership? I care more about what they want than what Katie Wilson wants, to be quite honest.
Do they already have a voice in the selection process? Shouldn't? I mean, if they don't,
I would assume that there's people in law enforcement that are part of that committee that she's putting together to help make these decisions. But I care more about what cops want in their leadership than I do Katie Wilson, who, until she was running for election, was not a police person. Kathy says the reason Seattle cannot keep or hire new cops is there's a total lack of respect for the department by the mayor and the city council. That's true.
I don't know, man. I think it seems to me members of
not the whole city council, some of the city
certain members of the city council really seem to be on the right side of this. John from Eugene says Wilson only needs to answer one question for police chief candidates. Will you accept $100,000 buyout?
Hundreds of thousands.
Will you accept the hundreds of $1,000 buyout when I put the city's safety at risk for political gains and use you as a scapegoat for my political immaturity? I don't think we have to end on that note. That's pretty good.
And if you will, the job is yours.
Right, you're right. These texters, you guys,
pretty funny.
They're the greatest.
I like it. All right, we like that segment a lot. I hope you guys do as well. Coming up next, it's feeding time. Let's find out what these social media algorithms are trying to shove down our throats. We're going to get to that next. Stick around.
KIRO Newsradio, where you hear G and Ursula, weekdays 9 to noon.
Starbucks is going to stop covering GLP-1 medications for weight loss. If you're on it, you know that these drugs per month can be like up to $1,000 if you don't have coverage.
When have we ever believed that pharmaceutical companies or any other company is going to make less profit to help the people out?
Watch live or later on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
Hartley Wilcox here. For over 100 years, my family has been committed to doing what's right. We believe food should be honest and wholesome. At Wilcox Farms, that starts with caring for our hens. They roam healthy pastures and enjoy a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. Why does that matter? Because what hens eat determines the quality of the eggs you eat. Our nature-first approach means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for your family's health. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs. You're supporting a farm that values animal welfare, sustainability, and community. It's real nutrition, real care, and real value. So next time you're at the egg case, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word. It was a way of life. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But aging has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why there's Longevity Medical Clinic. John Curley here. My best move was becoming a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic years ago, and second best move, getting my wife Nicole to join me this year. Stop guessing and start working with a doctor who knows your goals and get personalized care designed around you, not the average patient. Discover what's holding you back and what can help you thrive with longevity. Aging is natural, but some of the effects are undesirable, and you don't want to have to just accept it. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Get real answers about your health and get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Jonathan here from DUI Heroes, and if you're pulled over for a DUI, you can ask to speak with a lawyer immediately. We're available to you at DUIHeroes.com and 1-800-DUI-HERO 24 hours a day. If the officer doesn't get you in touch with us right away, you're still preserving the right and asking him to contact us as soon as he possibly can. The sooner you call a lawyer, the better your chances are. Look us up at DUIHeroes.com for a free case evaluation or call us at 1-800-DUI-HERO.
DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
All right, I'm very happy to have Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family on with me right now. And Phil, you guys offer such an amazing value for people who are driving their cars a little bit longer now, and you guys offer repairs for life. How does that work?
Basically, we're going to cover any repair we do for $250 or over for as long as you own the vehicle.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say that I buy my vehicle elsewhere. My transmission on my car breaks down. You guys fix it. 10 years later, I have the same problem. You guys are going to fix that again for no cost?
That's right. No cost to you for as long as you own the vehicle.
So why would you even offer this? This has got to be incredibly expensive for you.
You know what? We just want to keep our customers for life. So chances are if we do a repair for life and we take good care of you, you might look us up when you decide to get a new vehicle. And we want to be your lifetime dealer.
So somebody really does feel like they're part of the Sunset Auto family.
That's exactly right. We want you to be part of the family, and that's why we take good care of you.
Oil changes for life, warranty protection for life, and repairs for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Jazz Alley invites you to an evening with internationally acclaimed contemporary jazz pianist and composer Keiko Matsui. August 27th through the 30th, tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Simon Phillips and Protocol 6.
Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at mynorthwest.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks! All right, welcome back to the show. It's feeding time. We get to look at social medias, find out what they're shoving down our throats. I got something tasty today that's really, really good. We'll get to that in just a second.
We should remind people that if they want to watch this with us and share what's being forced on our throats, they should go on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, watch the YouTube.
Yeah,
it's a ton of fun. But mine is actually like it's such an upper. You could float the rest of the day on mine. It's gonna feel great. But start with yours.
Okay, Laura can share mine with the YouTube audience, but I'll describe it to you. You ever watch a Western and you see a guy running down a moving train? You ever watch a Western, right?
Of
you know what I'm
course.
talking about? And you see a guy that's running down a train and jumping from train car to train car to train car.
Yes.
It looks like that's so cool.
Indiana Jones 5, also Tom Cruise in the most recent
Mission Impossible?
penultimate Mission Impossible is on top of a train.
But every good Western,
Yes.
right? And it's so dangerous, but it looks so cool. This is a young woman who is on one of the numerous footbridges.
This is
that goes above one of the train tracks. This particular one's Carkeek Park. There's one up by us in Edmonds where there's a footbridge.
Is this in Washington?
This is Carkeek Park.
Oh, that's smart.
And this young lady is on the footbridge right above the train track with a cargo train, a freight train going underneath. And she is pretending to be running and jumping from car to car to car.
And they're filming it in such a way that you can't really see the footbridge she's on as much. It looks like she's standing on top of the train cars.
And she's running
jumping
and
between
and
cars.
timing her jumps between the brakes and the train. And I just thought this was...
That's very clever.
I've always wanted to do this, and it's finally a safe way to do this.
Do you think, given the opportunity on a real moving train, like if you go back, Indiana Jones done this a couple times. He's done the most recent one, Indiana Jones 5, but that was all CGI, and it was like back in time. When he was young on Last Crusade.
Okay.
Remember that where he's like on the train?
Yeah,
and he's running.
Yeah, fighting on top of trains is a staple of good cinema.
Could you do that? Could you run across Could you run across and jump across trains?
In my heyday, yes.
Yeah.
In my younger days, absolutely. I got no worries at all. I could absolutely.
You'd love to try
it. I would do it. I would in a heartbeat.
Me too.
I got on top of a moving car and surfed it at 45 miles an hour.
Well, that's dumb.
That's stupid. So's jumping on a
So's
moving train.
jumping on trains. I'll give you that.
In this stage of my life, I might hurt myself watching this video.
Okay.
Just to be fair. Full disclosure.
Hobos have been doing it for a long time, though.
They're desperate people.
Some of them are just enjoying the scenery, honestly.
Just riding the
They
rails.
got their bindle and they got all their fun stuff. They're just riding the trains. There's something very appealing about a hobo lifestyle, don't you think?
There's a freedom to it.
There's a freedom, and you're just sitting there. I mean, there's a lot of. Mostly, it's unappealing because you're a hobo and your entire life is in a little bindle.
You don't get to shower often.
You're not showering. They're constantly trying to kick you off your main mode of transportation. But it does look interesting.
It was a dangerous.
Oh, it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, very dangerous. Don't do it. Not recommending it. I'm just saying that
What if I just go and live on this footbridge above the train tracks with a bindle and be like a footbridge hobo and watch the trains go by?
Then you're just a normal, normal homeless guy up there. Like, that's not very impressive.
I'm sorry, you're right. This young lady is very impressive. What's yours? I'm dying to hear
Mine
this
is
now.
so great.
Okay.
I've watched this video 25 times.
Wow.
I'm going to set it up because it needs a little setup. It's football season right now. It's preseason football.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys have a guy whose name is, I'm going to butcher the name. His name is Shy-Ass Pete. He's the first Navajo player in NFL history to play to play NFL snaps.
Oh, wow.
And
really?
Yes. Wow. So his background is really interesting too, because I'm going to read to you a little bit from this post about him. His first high school did not have a football team. He transferred to a small high school in New Mexico. He joined the team as a sophomore. He had to mail in his own highlight tapes to colleges during COVID, which was his senior year. He had almost no recruiting resources on the reservation where he lived. The offers came back from only Division II and Division III schools, which, as you all know, if you have NFL hopes, it's oftentimes not going through Division III schools.
Right.
He ended up walking on at New Mexico State, where he redshirted. Then he spent his first year on the practice squad. He finally made it onto the field, and people were like, hey, he's actually got some talent. So, we all watched as college transfers are happening like more and more often these days. He ends up making it to Kentucky, where he has 12 starts in the SEC. He gets a team captaincy in the SEC there. He ends up becoming a first-team, I believe he's a first-team All-American, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's an All-American. Or no, he's first-team All-Conference. Okay. Left tackle. All that to say, he goes undrafted. 7 rounds, undrafted. And then he gets a call that he gets a chance to try to join as a free agent with the Cowboys, which he does. He's now trying to make the team. It's possibly unlikely that he makes the team. He's looking more like kind of a practice squad guy, but those guys can climb up the ladder too. But he gave a speech after one of the most recent preseason games that they played, and listen to how inspiring this guy is. I mean, this is enough that you might, just from like a culture perspective, you might just want a guy like this on your roster because he's going to inspire greatness. Maybe he gets there himself, but certainly he's going to inspire it in the rest of his teammates. This is Shy as Pete. This is after a recent preseason Dallas Cowboys football game. And they asked him to, like, the thing where they lead the team in a little speech, like everybody put your hand in thing? This is what he had to say.
Well, that was an incredible win. I am very fortunate to be amongst you and to play in the same field where the same star hold it on our chest. And I'm proud of us. I'm proud of how far we've come. Man, this game, fate, brought us here as strangers, but this game, this star, this team will make us brothers. Yes,
One, two, three, I mean, isn't that just... It just gives you chills.
Like that, man. Yeah.
And everybody's rooting for this guy now. Nice. And yeah, he's a pretty special guy. So check him out. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to in the 2 o'clock hour. We're gonna do a little bit of a curveball, and we're gonna do a Spike's Court, which we weren't planning on doing, but we got a story that's so good, and I'm gonna present you with evidence, and then you're gonna have to make a decision.
Fair enough.
There's a Senate race happening in Alaska right now.
Yeah.
And
that's a state, right?
That's a state.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel qualified to make this judgment.
All right, stick around. We got that coming up.
I've lived here almost my entire life.
Seattle's morning news host, Charlie Harger.
I love Seattle. I love that I'm able to raise my children here.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's morning news.
So when I see something that I think might need some attention, that's me pointing out areas of improvement. That is not me saying that Seattle is somehow bad.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
1877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax because you bundled your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Summer is for sunshine.
It's a beautiful day out for baseball here at T-Mobile Park.
Summer is for moonshots.
He just absolutely obliterates this! Multi-homer game, Cole Young!
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Emerson is racing over, slides up! He missed the catch! Incredible!
So listen for the cheers and follow your ears to T-Mobile Park. Because where else can you travel to on a ferry boat and then eat crab nachos out of a ferry boat?
How sweet it is!
It is the sweetest, Rick. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
The Mariners' schedule is packed with big events and divisional matchups down the home stretch. Be here for the series against the A's September 3rd through the 6th and the Rangers September 8th through the 10th. Plus great giveaways like Brian Wu Bobblehead Night September 5th, presented by Lexus. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franz, and the death toll rapidly rising in Nepal following catastrophic flooding. More than 150 are dead. More than 400 others are missing, including 47 American tourists. Here's ABC's Lama Hassan.
Flood was so powerful, so destructive, it washed away everything in its path, villages and damaging roads. The flood hitting early on Wednesday morning just north of Nepal's capital, Kathmandu.
In Massachusetts, prosecutors in the murder trial of Lindsay Clancy resting their rebuttal case. The mother is charged with the killing of her 3 children. Defense attorneys argue she was suffering from postpartum psychosis. Closing arguments set to begin tomorrow. Changes coming to Meta in a new tentative landmark settlement. 52 state attorneys general, except for Florida and New Mexico, signing on to the proposal to settle claims that Facebook and Instagram were designed to be addictive and posed a mental health to minors. The social media giant agreeing to pay $18 billion to make major changes and add protections to its apps. This is ABC News. Prince Harry and Meghan reportedly back in Britain after relocating from the U.S. The BBC reporting the couple returned as private citizens and non-working royals. In China, an Olympic-style robot competition winding down and includes a record-setting robot at the World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing. Britt Clinton, ABC's Britt Clinton is there.
It is a really lively, occasionally chaotic, but impressive event, especially when one robot sprinter clocked 100 meters in 9.39 seconds in an opening heat, faster than Usain Bolt's 9.59 world record. So compared to last year, the robots are performing much better, and it is a visible indicator of just how quick this tech is advancing.
Word today, Tim Curry has died. The British stage, film, and voice actor became a cult favorite in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. In New York City, the cast of the theater revival on Broadway say they will honor Curry at tonight's show. Tim Curry was 80. Michelle Franz on ABC News.
Pierce County Sheriff spearheading a new citizen-led amendment. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's start you up in Everett, where we're getting busy with that afternoon Boeing shift change underway. That means eastbound 526 heavy over to I-5 and North 5 starting to fill in between 526 and Highway 2. South 5 into Seattle, we're jam-packed from Lake City Way to I-90, Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. North 5 jams up at the West Seattle Bridge up to I-90. You'll catch that little break and before you run into another backup approaching 520. 20 minutes to get you through this. South 405 packed from Southeast 8th through Factoria. South 5 through South Center at South 216th. I'm seeing traffic come to a halt, but I'm not seeing anything from my camera view. You're backed up to 405, though. And here in Seattle near SPU, we are on scene of a ongoing fatality investigation involving a motorcyclist down. This is near SPU. Both directions of Nickerson Street closed right there at 6th Avenue. Still no estimation when this will reopen. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The fight over whether Pierce County Sheriff should be elected or appointed is intensifying. KIRO Newsradio's Frank Lenzi explains.
Sheriff Keith Swank calls the charter commissioners who voted to put an amendment on the ballot that would change the position from an elected one to an appointed one the dirty dozen.
Most of those people there want to pass this because they don't like Keith Swank.
But former Charter Review Commissioner Justin Layton says it's not personal.
We need to move on from this conversation, and the only way to do that is to let the voters decide.
Swank has filed an initiative, meanwhile, to change the sheriff from an executive department to an elected office. And some former county officials have filed a separate lawsuit to block the Charter Commission's amendment. In Tacoma, Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Sheriff's deputies in Pierce County are asking for help after a chaotic early morning shooting outside Marco's Cantina in Parkland. Investigators say up to 50 people were in that crowd when shots were fired just after 1 a.m. Deputy Carly Capetto says one man suffered a non-life-threatening gunshot wound.
We have not been able to speak with anybody that has been compliant or that wants to provide any information to law enforcement, which is going to make this investigation particularly challenging.
So far, no arrests. Nearly 50,000 Seattle Public School students could see the start of the school year delayed. The teachers union is voting tonight on whether to authorize a strike. Their biggest issues remaining teacher pay and planning time. The current contract expires on Sunday. Meantime, Washington's governor making his case for banning cell phones in all public schools. Governor Bob Ferguson spoke about it today at Pasco High School, surrounded by educators and students.
You don't need a study to show it, although studies do show it, that these devices are incredibly distracting in an academic setting, in a school setting.
Ferguson and the state superintendent are calling on lawmakers to pass that ban next session, have it be in place in time for the start of next school year. Now to your forecast, a very nice afternoon after those morning clouds. We are seeing mostly sunny skies today, highs topping out of the mid-70s, even cooler tomorrow, with some light rain possible at times for the rest of this week. Right now, 71 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, one fantastic hour to go. If you guys have missed the first 2 hours, but you are with us right now, you've chosen wisely. This is the best hour of the show. The first two, we get all the hiccups out. This last hour, we really, we start clicking, I think. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We're going to do a Spike's Court in just a couple minutes. There's a case up in Alaska. There is a Dan Sullivan on the ballot. He's running to be Senator of Alaska. The problem is there's another Dan Sullivan on the ballot up in Alaska. He's also running to be senator. And so I'm going to...
One of them's running to keep his job.
One of them's running as the incumbent.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then there's another Dan Sullivan who's running.
If you like what Dan Sullivan's doing, or if you hate what Dan Sullivan's doing,
we've got
Dan
the man
Sullivan.
for you.
This is ridiculous.
But what I'm going to ask from you, Spike, is I'm going to present evidence to you, and then I'm going to ask you, because you are an impartial judge, to make a decision about the legitimacy of this guy's campaign.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to be presenting to the court.
I appreciate your faith in the system.
And if you guys are not watching on video, Spike is going to literally be pounding a gavel. We actually don't have a gavel.
I know.
But I do have this summer squash.
No. Wow.
This was next to the, and this is real, actually. This was next to the microwave. I don't know who brought this in. I don't know if I'm stealing somebody's lunch.
No, it's all day. It's a freebie.
Okay.
They're all day.
So somebody grew this at home?
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do
Are
is...
you taking it home?
That's going to be your gavel. I actually think
that's really good.
Pretty good stand-in for a gavel.
That. Yeah,
so I'm going to hand that over to you. Give it a pound.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
you can bring a lot of order to the court.
I really can with this.
Yeah.
I can bring anything I want. Huh?
So we'll do that in just a couple minutes. But first, let's start with some more local real news, which is that the Seahawks have a new owner. And then now this is official, is that right? Because it was up in the air. Like, are the NFL owners going to approve of this ownership?
Yeah, this was a gathering of NFL owners and designated representatives from the NFL teams, 32 NFL teams. They needed a 3/4 majority or 24 votes to approve this sale from the Allen Foundation to the Khosla family.
And the Khosla family is paying $9.6 billion?
$9.6 billion. Yeah, all the talk of low interest in the Seahawk franchise, projected final sale prices this kind of hit the top of the expectations. The very top, I think, was 10.
That's
9.6. That's
9.6
amazing.
is pretty good.
Amazing.
That's actually, has any NFL team ever sold for more? I don't believe so.
I think the record for the NFL is the Dallas Cowboys, but that's a time issue.
Yeah.
How long ago it sold, because didn't the Lakers just sell for
I think the Lakers just sold to, I want to say north of $10 billion.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like any house that sells on your block, you're watching to see if it sells for a good price because your house just gained in value.
Right.
Every NFL owner had an opportunity to essentially give themselves a better valuation with a giant sale from the Seahawks. So
rising tide lifts all yachts, as they say.
And man, they got some nice yachts.
But isn't that nice, though, that this franchise, the Seattle Seahawks franchise, this startup, it's one of the 76, we came in with the Buccaneers, right, back in 76. I mean, 50 years, but we're still a pretty new franchise in the NFL. I think there's only 4 franchises newer than the Seahawks. To be up there in the echelon with the Lakers and the Cowboys.
There's no hotter team in football.
Right?
I mean, if you're in the national sports media, that you would say actually the Rams are more interesting, but you'd obviously be a biased dum-dum because we know as Seahawks fans that the Seahawks are the hottest team in football.
Well, it's funny. It's not just they're hot. You're not wrong about that, but I saw a quick little meme throw through my feeds last night about how many times your team has won their division in the last 20 years, 24 years.
Last 2 decades.
The Seahawks have won 10 division championships, more than the Rams, more than the Niners,
they're
and
very
way more than the Cardinals.
They're very good. They've been to the Super Bowl, what?
4 times.
4 times.
Yeah, 2-2. It should have been 3-1, but that's another story.
That's pretty good.
But that speaks to the Allen Foundation and the Allen family.
Yep, the ownership.
The job that they have done in making this not just a stable franchise, but a winning franchise and a value to this region and the league itself, thus the $9.6 billion price tag.
And the Kosla family, he was the patriarch of that family. He was part of the ownership group in a minority sense for the 49ers.
Yes, a minority owner
Tell you
of the
what,
49ers.
He got out while the getting was good.
He saw that power station
one of the
being built
other
next to the train
owners
facility.
CEO.
Oh, that's right.
Got arrested on prostitution charges.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, they're charges. He got arrested on those charges.
He did. You're right. He got arrested on charges of
popped for prostitution
and possession of criminal tools.
Criminal tools, whatever the heck that was.
Wasn't it knocked down to a misdemeanor? Right. It was. Yeah, I believe it was
Something.
negotiated.
Yeah. But it's still that's quite an embarrassing thing.
I'm just trying to help single moms. Is what he was saying. Sorry.
He's trying to. I mean, as that team is trying to ramp up and get excited for the new season,
right?
To have to be answering questions about your owner, who's in a trailer park brothel allegedly
in Ohio.
I don't know if it was a brothel or it was just like an enterprising small business owner who was
right.
But he was at a trailer park where apparently the cost was like
filming a local episode of Shark Tank.
Yeah,
there's a business proposition.
I'm going to make an investment for $140 or whatever the price was.
He forfeited the $140 pocket money. Yeah. I'm sorry. Good news for Seattle fans.
Horrible jokes to make about him getting invested in that company that we will not make.
Do you remember the Behring years, Ken Behring?
You know what? I don't. I think I might have been too young.
You're kind of, yeah.
When was he the owner?
He was the owner
because Allen bought it in 97.
97. Yeah. 97. Ken Behring owned the team when I moved here in the 80s, late 80s.
I was a wee lad, so I wasn't aware of them. But
we were here when he was talking about moving that team to Los Angeles. I mean, they had this franchise was. The Kingdom wasn't adequate. This franchise was struggling. They'd come off some really lean years.
So the Rams were still in St. Louis at the time?
Rams were still in St. Louis at the time. And Los Angeles was without a team. Now they got 2. But there was talk it was going to be like the Blackhawks in Los Angeles. Ken Behring was going to move this franchise. The Mariners were rumored to be going to Tampa. The Seahawks were rumored to be going to Los Angeles.
Ugh.
That's one of those era of franchise free agency when owners would hold cities hostage.
They still do, though.
They still do.
I mean, that guy, who's the Portland guy?
Portland Trailblazers
guy's like, I need a new arena.
Yeah, because they can. You notice how it's gone quiet about the Sonics, by the way?
I have noticed that.
Yeah.
I
didn't want to try to bring it up.
It feels dubious to me.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Would you rather would you like to have the Blazers if that guy can't find a new building? In
Seattle?
Yeah, and the NBA says, because that's an owner you're bringing here, that's not, by all accounts, not a guy that's not an Allen kind of level ownership.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would be happy with any team that comes.
But,
I mean, it's better to have the Blazers than not have anybody.
I don't know. That's a great question. Anyway.
But then they wouldn't be the Sonics.
Sure they would. You couldn't bring the Blazers up here and call them the Blazers. We fought to keep the Sonic brand.
But they have a rich history. I mean, like Seattle has the rights to rename their team the Sonics, but like the Blazers have a rich history that they'd be happy to
then build an arena or lose it, buddy. I mean, it's a cutthroat world.
Where else could they go? Where else could they go?
Oh, I don't know. Indianapolis. They'd thrive. Well, the Indiana Pacers have a team. Indianapolis is a potential move for baseball. I don't know. We're getting far.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Quick side question before we go to Spike's Court. If you could own a professional franchise in any sport, and you would be the single owner, not a minority owner, you own the entire thing, what would it be?
Football. Easy.
Yeah.
NFL football. It's every week's a celebration, man. Baseball's too much of a grind.
Baseball is a grind.
It's a grind. So NBA's got 82
There's too many
games.
games.
Yes.
How do you even pay attention to that?
Right.
What's football, 17?
17 games.
17?
Well, 3 preseasons, 20.
Anybody
Postseason,
can get really dialed in with 17.
And once a week, you're just throwing a party. And everybody wants to be your friend.
It's true. Yeah. And you know what? When I'm watching...
I'm sure the owners of the Mariners or other pro baseball teams have it pretty good.
I'm sure they have good friends, too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's always a party in
But you're totally right. When you go to a Seahawks game, every game is 10 times as important as any single Mariners game.
Absolutely.
Because they have 10 times less games.
Yeah.
When I'm watching Hard Knocks and I'm watching Mike McDonald, he'll like host... Who's the guy who's he just hosts a basketball coach? Was it for the Trailblazers?
I don't know. Is this the latest episode?
No, this was episode 2. I'm still on episode 2. But he was hosting a coach recently, and he came in, and it's just like the environment around the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Like when it's at the VMAC.
Yeah.
It just seems like a place you want to be. It just seems like a cool environment. Everybody's chilled out. I mean, I know they're working hard on the field and everything.
Yeah,
but they work hard and they play hard. Seems cool.
That's the Allen family, the Allen Foundation. Brought in the right people to do their jobs.
Are you worried that the Khosla family is going to come in and they're going to have, because you're a billionaire, so you want to make your mark, but if your team is already firing on all cylinders, you're not buying the
Browns.
I was just going to say the Browns.
That's the epitome for
you're
a poorly
not buying
run
the Browns where like somebody needs a savior to step in. You're buying the team that is like, you're buying a Ferrari. How are you going to improve on a Ferrari? But a guy who buys a Ferrari wants to improve on it. I mean, like, unless he's just trying to appreciate the fine leather and how fast it goes, which is possible, and maybe he's just looking at it as like, all right, this is a 25-year investment or 10-year investment, and then the team's going to be worth $14 billion, and then I can sell my portion of the team.
Anytime you change ownerships, you worry about getting that type of an owner that wants to make his mark.
Yeah.
We've all, I said we've all, hopefully you haven't, but I have numerous times worked for a company that changes ownership or a station that changes ownership.
Sure.
And they, we're going to make our mark. We're going to do blah, blah, blah. And they just screw everything up.
Yeah.
Is it Vinod Khosla said, I'm trying to find the exact quote.
He said, I don't want to upset the apple cart or whatever.
Right. I have smart people who know what they do and I'm going to let them do what they do.
Yeah.
That's the guy you want right
But here's the thing. That's what I would say.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, but
then I would go in if I had billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And I was buying a team.
You'd Jerry Jones it up.
I don't know that I would. But I would be like, hey, you know what? Let's get I don't even know if they're allowed to put a real field on the because they can't get rid of the turf. They have to do real field. I mean, they can't get rid of the turf. They have to play turf. They can't do real field like they did for FIFA.
Well, yeah, that was.
But I'd want to come in and be like, hey, let's get some grass on here. You guys all want grass.
Well, they say there's too much usage of that stadium.
I know.
To make it a bit.
That's what I would do. I'd kick the other teams off.
Wow.
I would say I want my guys to have the best. I want them to have injury-free, no turf toe, no nothing.
But the team doesn't own the stadium. City does, right?
I don't know.
Team doesn't own that stadium.
I don't know who owns it.
I believe the city of Seattle owns Lumen Field.
Okay.
And I think that the other tenants that pay good money to play at Lumen, whether it's a college game or whether it's a public event.
That is interesting. Who owns Lumen Field?
It's college football, the various soccer games that are played there.
Sounders?
Yeah, you couldn't just boot them out to put your turf in there.
It says it's owned by the public.
Yeah.
Okay.
You and me, buddy, we paid for that. State of Washington.
Well, you know what I would do? I would get a new stadium where I could put in grass. That's what I would do. For the players.
Yeah, there was talk a few months ago about does Seattle need a new stadium? Would a new owner?
I'd put it on top of the old stadium. Double decker.
Okay.
Lower stadium, MLS games, things like that.
Who needs sun?
Upper level stadium, Seahawks.
Real turf.
really
FIFA turf.
tall trams like at Universal Studios where you just ride those escalators and go up
fun.
forever.
Yeah.
Just make it like I'd make it an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just like having to climb up. I'm going to quit holding my hand like that. That looked bad. So they have to climb really high. All right. The joke is dead. Let's go to Spike's court.
Yeah, please.
Get out your vegetable.
Order in the court.
Hold it up for the audience so they can see what you're doing.
It's tragic. This is like...
Well, it's going to work for now. We're not trying to send any messages.
No.
But, you need to...
It's a smile.
Yeah, that's what we're referencing. We need to get you a wig. For future Spike's courts, we need to get you a wig, a black robe, powdered wig, and then whatever you wear on there, like a kerchief or something.
You want me to go full RBG?
Yes.
With a doily?
Yeah.
Yes, I should.
Or like the English courts.
Right, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the case that I'm going to present for you today, Judge Spike, is up in Alaska.
Is it Sullivan v. Sullivan?
This is Sullivan v. Sullivan.
Okay, on the docket.
I would like to present this evidence, and I'm asking the court, what I'm asking you to consider is whether or not this guy is a fake or whether or not he is a real candidate. Now, the stakes are high, Your Honor, because this guy wants to represent Alaska in the United States Senate. He's trying to unseat the incumbent, who is Dan Sullivan. He's running against two other people. One of them is Peltola. Is that her name?
Yeah, Mary Peltola.
Mary Peltola.
Yeah, she was a rep from Alaska.
She's a rep from Alaska.
I believe she's the first Native American or indigenous, I should say, rep from Alaska.
Okay, she's running against Dan Sullivan, the incumbent. She is a Democrat. Dan Sullivan, the incumbent, is a Republican.
And you mentioned it's a ranked choice ballot?
It's a ranked choice, so it's top four, which is confusing. Doesn't matter which party, top four. The Dan Sullivan who is running to unseat the incumbent Dan Sullivan, who's a Republican, is also running as a Republican. And if it please the court, I would like to present some evidence that I think suggests that this guy actually is doing this for reasons to help Miss Peltola. And that's what I'm asking you to make a decision on today, Your Honor.
The court will hear arguments.
Okay, so let's start with this. When he got into politics, and I'm drawing a lot of this, so this is kind of an interesting article. It's also, sidebar, Your Honor, if I may, it also is highlighting, the New York Times went up there and wrote like a really glowing piece. And the premise of their piece was to try to get to the bottom of whether or not he is a real candidate or if he is just there as a Democrat plant to try to get enough votes, wean enough votes away from incumbent Dan Sullivan to basically push the election to Miss Peltola. And the New York Times, it feels pretty glowing to me. And basically they come to the conclusion, they say let me say here, they say we have no evidence one way or the other. They say they basically say like, we can't make a determination about whether or not this guy is a legitimate candidate or not. That's their entire thing.
I'll allow it.
Okay, so when he signs up you have to register to be a candidate up in Alaska. And when you do that, you have to provide the name that you wish voters to get the chance to vote on. So this guy's name in real life is Daniel S. Sullivan, I believe is his name.
That's the incumbent senator.
That's the incumbent senator.
Okay, Republican incumbent senator Dan Sullivan.
Is it Dan S. Sullivan? Is that the guy?
Dan S. Sullivan is the incumbent senator. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
There we go. All right, so he files the fake Dan Sullivan, who I will call him fake, even though he claims he's a real candidate. His real name is Daniel J. Sullivan, but when he initially registers to be on the ballot, he registers as Daniel S. Sullivan.
He
registered with a middle name that is not his own.
Okay.
Okay, so that is evidence one that I would like to drop there. When they asked him about this and when they challenged him in court on this, he said it was just a simple typo, and this is something that can happen to anybody.
Sure, because a candidacy for U.S. Senate should be treated lightly.
Yes. Okay.
And shouldn't be spell checked.
So his middle name, starts with a J, but he registered initially as Daniel S. Sullivan, which is the name of the incumbent, Dan S. Sullivan, and how people up there know him and vote on things. His website also looks almost identical to the other Dan Sullivan. So if you were to go to a website and look these two guys up, it's almost imperceptible. They look like the exact same logos. Almost everything is the exact same.
That's Exhibit B.
That's Exhibit B's.
Thank you.
In the past, even though he is now registering to run as a Republican, he has acknowledged that he has made previous donations to Ms. Peltola's campaign and a handful of other Democrats. Is that evidence that the court will let me submit? Donations to the other candidate?
It shows history of political interest.
There we go. He also says in past elections, he has voted for a Democrat in the past. He has not been voting Republican, but now he says for whatever reason, he's had a sudden change of heart, and now he is a Republican. He has also said that names calling him Decoy Dan, a Sham Dan, Fraud Sullivan, Fake Dan Sullivan, he says those are not nice. And he says, I am not a fake Dan Sullivan. He says in the New York Times article, he says, I am Dan Sullivan. In fact, because he's 8 years older, he says, I've been Dan Sullivan longer than you've been Dan Sullivan. That's a message he sent to the actual Dan Sullivan. The New York Times also was looking around his living room when they visited for evidence of political leanings. And they did note that he does have an American flag outside his house, which is not codified as Republican. I think a lot of people have American flags around their house.
I would hope. That's still a nonpartisan.
The reporter also noted a refrigerator magnet featuring Che Guevara, the Marxist revolutionary. Mr. Sullivan said he didn't realize it was there, and when asked about it, he said perhaps his children had put it there.
It's just a bottle opener, Your Honor, and the guy's got a big mouth.
So given the past political donations, given the fact that he tried to register in the other Dan Sullivan's middle name, given the fact that he's got Che Guevara magnets on his refrigerator, Your Honor, I ask you to decide, is this guy fake or is he real? And if you could please lift up your thing and make a decision, and whatever you decide.
Order in the court.
Okay,
I'll
all right.
Silence in the courtroom. Does this court's decision that Con Dan Sullivan Jr. Sullivan is indeed a attempt to split voting amongst those voting Sullivan in the U.S. Senate election in the state of Alaska?
Thank you, Your Honor. You have chosen, you know what? I respect the ruling of this court, and I think you have decided wisely. Now in Alaska, they have not. He's allowed to run as Dan Sullivan.
The court appreciates your respect. It's beer time.
Thank you. All right, we got a lot more coming up. When we come back,
we got to get a gavel.
We got to get a gavel, because this thing's going to rot.
This is going to get us in trouble.
Probably got a good 2 months, though.
You're right. Yeah, and then we can eat it. All right, when we come back, there's an interesting article about the apocalypse, where you would hide in an apocalypse. I think we can have some fun with this one.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Tips?
We'll talk about it next. Stick around.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from The G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Jason Rantz here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I felt a jackhammering pain in my jaw.
Like someone sawing my bones. Barbed wire in my shoulder.
Like a cattle prod in my hip.
Like I put my foot in a blender.
Pain is different for everyone. But where pain starts, Journavx suzetrigine begins. Journavx is a non-opioid 50-milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain. Before those signals tell the brain to feel
like I punched an angry beehive.
And pain reduction can finally begin. Do not take Journavx with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Journavx may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes. To learn more about Journavx, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit journavx.com.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment. Often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
John Curley here. If you buy a hot tub from one of those pop-up places in a parking lot, you don't expect service, do you? Because you're not going to find it. But at Seattle Hot Tub Company, you'll find American-made products, consistent pricing on all hot tubs, swim spas, and cold plunges. Easy financing with hot tubs as low as $90 a month. They're not some traveling sales event that rolls into town, takes your money, and then disappears. They're the place you keep coming back to for great service, repairs, chemicals, and advice for years. Visit SeattleHotTub.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A landmark settlement with Meta is sending hundreds of millions of dollars to Washington. Attorney General Nick Brown calling it the largest big tech settlement in history. As we hear from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hole.
Meta has agreed to pay more than $17 billion to settle claims it knowingly harmed young users on Facebook and Instagram. Washington will get up to $339 million. Brown says the case was about more than money.
Social media companies have stolen countless hours of our kids' lives, crowding out sleep and exercise, in-person connection, and learning at school.
The settlement also requires major changes. Kids and teens will face daily time limits, no push notifications on weekdays during the school year, and stronger age and parental controls. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Coalition of Democratic-led states, including Washington, is back in courts over changes to mail-in voting, challenging new U.S. Postal Service rules that determine who gets the ballots. Washington Secretary of State Steve Hobbs.
This administration has been focused on dismantling our constitutional right to run elections in this state.
A federal judge today ruled those new Postal Service rules are all clear to take effect. However, these new lawsuits may change that. It's official now. A new owner is about to take control of the Seattle Seahawks. NFL owners unanimously approved the sale of the franchise from the Paul Allen estate to a group led by Vinod Khosla and his family.
How often do you get to buy a franchise that just won the Super Bowl? So we are incredibly lucky and humbled by this gift, I would say, from the Allen Trust.
The deal, valued at $9.6 billion, sets a new record for an NFL franchise. Bellevue-based T-Mobile closing 6 Washington stores and laying off 77 workers in the state starting next month. Affected locations include Seattle, Bothell, and Tacoma, according to a state filing posted today. Company has already cut more than 4,600 jobs nationwide since January. Now to the real-time traffic desk. We check in with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron. This one brought to us by Seattle Sports. Up in Everett, eastbound 526, we're bumper to bumper, leaving the Boeing plant over to I-5, and North 5 heavy from 526 up to Highway 2. South 5 heading into Seattle jams up at Ravenna Boulevard, and that continues all the way to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, a 25-minute commute. North 5 scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal Bridge. Plan on 25 minutes to get through this. South 405 heavy from 520 all the way down to the VMAC. Really thick there between Southeast 8th and Factoria. North 405 in Kirkland at Northeast 60th. That right lane is blocked and you're stacked up to 520. South 5 heading through South Center. We're packed at Interurban down to South 216th. I think it's road work there that's jamming you up. Seattle to Federal Way will take you 40 minutes. And we have an ongoing fatality investigation underway near SPU. Both directions of Nickerson Street are closed near 6th Avenue. Still no estimation when this will reopen. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Weather's looking good for today. Partly cloudy skies with increasing sunshine this afternoon. Highs topping out in the mid-70s. Some showers on the coast tomorrow. And then a slight chance for some rain around the Puget Sound region on Friday night into Saturday. Right now, 72 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Every once in a while, we get a chance to just do stupid things on the show. I think this would kind of qualify, I would say.
Hopefully it's going to be useful information for folks, though.
I hope it's never useful, actually.
Oh,
I mean, I hope it's never something that somebody has to look back on and go, those two guys really did figure out how to survive during an apocalypse. Eventually, at some point, there will be the end of the world, and you might need this information in your lifetime. I don't know, but the Daily Mail posted a study that was recently done. We're going to talk about our different choices here in just a minute, but let me give you a little background on the study. At the University of Hagen, which sounds like it's in somewhere that has tulips or something. The lead author at this university was trying to figure out, they were trying to come up with their criteria for if there was an apocalypse, what are you looking for in the place that you want to best be positioned to survive the longest? If you're a fan of a show like The Walking Dead, you know that there are just certain things that make it very, difficult to survive when there's zombies chasing you.
Sure.
That's the apocalypse.
Safe perimeter, resources to stay alive. Yeah.
Ironically, one of the safest places to survive.
Good internet.
Is an old prison.
I know, right?
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Fortified.
That was fortified.
Yeah.
Designed to keep people in. Great at keeping people out, too.
Yep.
So they looked at this. This is Dr. Florian Ulrich Jahn. Again, which goes back to my tulip assumption, who looked at all these different criteria, and they found that
from Mount Vernon, Washington, ironically.
No.
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be real. They said that countries that have the best chance of withstanding like catastrophic events, meteors, floods, biblical floods, things like that.
Apocalyptic events, nuclear Armageddon, biological warfare, asteroid strikes, volcanic eruptions,
all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
They said there are going to be countries that are rich, democratic, remote, and have large industrial and agricultural base of which you can, kind of feed on for as long as possible.
Yeah, makes sense.
And if it's located on an island, that's also ideal because it is limiting the amount of people who can get to you.
If you look at the later spinoffs of Walking Dead.
I only watched I did not watch after, I don't want to spoil it, but I stopped watching.
It's been 12 years, I think you're saying.
Okay, when Carl died?
Yeah. Carl died. Carl got bit.
I got too sad.
Sorry.
I got too sad, and I just said, I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah, they lost me when they blew Rick off the bridge. That's when it lost me. Did you get that far?
I didn't get that far. What happened to him?
It was a really long show. I only watched part of it too.
Yeah, and eventually you get just kind of like, all right.
You kind of burn out
I
on
got to check out on
the
this.
gore and the
Yes,
You know,
it's too much.
They suffer from what all successful shows suffer from is a split of the writing staff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people got.
Oh, because they did. Then they went off and did multiple
stuff.
shows.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they have determined that the best place to survive an apocalypse is actually the country of Australia, which is kind of interesting because that's where they filmed Mad Max originally.
Yeah.
And that's
strong agriculture, sure.
Yeah. They got
isolation, natural
rich
isolation.
country, island nation,
democracy. Yeah.
A lot of vast land. They got a lot of bad land.
Plenty of space. Yeah.
Plenty of space to drive your altered vehicles.
I hadn't contemplated that because my first choice would be Mercer Island, of course.
Oh, that's the
Mercer
last place I'd go.
Really?
Yes.
Why? I mean,
Number one-
island, resources.
Well,
right?
number one, you're too it's easy access. You've got the train.
I take the bridges.
You've
out
got the
first.
bridges.
First thing I do is take the bridges out.
You've got to figure out how to take the bridges out, though.
Yeah, but I got a bunch of micro engineers over there. They can help me out.
Also,
Anyway.
you have a pretty high collection of like valuable things that I think people might come for pretty quickly. Like when the chaos descends and somebody goes like, "Hey, you know what? The rules of life no longer are determining how I."
You think a Bentley's going to be much sought after in the apocalyptic world?
Waterfront property.
That's true. Yeah,
It's like if I'm going to have to survive
gotta love
something.
a view, right? Might as well have a view.
So you go to Mercer Island.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Where would you go for real? And what are the things what's the very first thing that you would do? If you found out there's
high ground, first things first, thing for high ground.
Yeah.
I can't be thinking about, getting to Australia.
Nah.
And convincing the high court,
Can't do that.
The high court of Australia to let me in. That ain't going to happen.
No, all the
Maybe
courts are now
time.
gone.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Well, I'm
no
talking about
governments
some-
are functioning at that point.
You ever see it? Which is it? With was it Bane? Which Batman was Bane?
Oh, with what's his face?
Exactly. Right. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
I forget which, but when society went sideways, when Bane cut off Gotham from the outside world, that people made their own court, right?
That's
Had
true.
a little kangaroo court in there, man.
Yeah.
They're passing judgment. Judge,
Governed
jury.
by the scarecrow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you got to worry about who's going to take control.
I mean, I'd want to go remote. I want to be out. I'd want to be on a hilltop.
Mm-hmm.
I want to protect my environment.
Yep.
Close to a stream would be great. Running water would be great. You know what I'm saying? A water source would be great.
Food. You want to be able to hunt.
You want to be able to hunt. You see, I want to be wilderness. I want to
You're
go.
well positioned like locally here. I feel like you've already got a head start if you're in if you're in North Bend area or you're like out on like deep Highway 2 somewhere. Like you're out near Index or
I'm
Skycomish.
heading north. I'm heading to the Okanagan. Yeah, I'm crossing the international border, buddy. I'm heading
Going
to
to
Canada.
Canada.
You bet I am. You bet I am. Real space, wide open spaces, wildlife.
Yeah, maybe. They got a lot of space.
Yeah.
Maple syrup.
Right?
They got a lot of maple syrup.
Yeah. Get a nice view of Lake America.
You would sail across on Lake America and make your new home in Canada.
Yeah, sure.
That's
you betcha.
smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
All the Rush music I can listen to.
You guys hit us up. Let us know what you would do at 888-973-5476. I would just go in the woods. I would just be in the woods.
I think that's,
I would just get my family. I would get as many guns as ammo as we could carry on our backs.
Yeah.
I would get I wouldn't bring much fuel actually because that's just going to become cumbersome and I know how to start a fire.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, you got to.
I have flint and steel. I can start fires.
There you go.
And I would just head out into the deep woods. Basically like living off grid, which is kind of everybody's it's a lot of people's dream. It's not everybody's dream, but I think it sounds appealing. And I'd just be out there in the woods, just living life. Hopefully no zombies come after me. Okay. That was a fun segment. Thank you guys for participating.
Yeah.
Send us your text messages.
All that gloom and doom.
888-973-5476. It actually might be a nice little life. Just living out in the woods.
Peace.
Little house. It's like Little House on the Prairie, but in the woods.
Alone in the Wilderness.
Yes. Alone is a great show. It would be like Alone.
Did you ever see that Alone in the Wilderness show?
No.
That old guy who built a cabin up in Alaska?
Oh, from the 1950s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, he's a legend. All right, we got last call coming up. What's his name?
Dick Pernicki.
Dick Pernicki?
Yep.
I'll look him up. Last call coming up next. Your text messages. Stick around. Be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO. News Radio 97.3 FM.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
All right, I'm very excited to be speaking with Phil Mitchell. He is a new advertiser on the show. He owns Sunset Auto Family. Phil, welcome.
Thanks, Jake.
I want to talk about something that I cannot stress enough, how valuable this is for anybody who's looking for a car. You guys do oil changes for life. What does that mean?
Well, basically, it means if you buy a car that qualifies for oil changes for life, we're going to give you 5 oil changes a year. And they're about $150 now. You know, oil goes up and down, but guess what? We're going to change the oil for as long as you own that vehicle on us.
Like you're saying, oil changes are $150. They're even more if you're driving a diesel. And so you hold on to a vehicle for 10 years, that's like $10,000.
Oh, it can be even more than that. We've got a guy that's been changing his oil since 1985. He's gotten more oil changes than the car cost, and we're still changing it for him because that's what we do. We're your lifetime dealer.
And this is what people are going to get at Sunset Auto Family.
That's right. Great service for as long as you own the vehicle.
Oil changes for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations. And save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
A dark night, a quiet suburb. But for one family, danger lurks just downstairs.
Oh, no. That's just my husband getting a midnight snack.
Guilty. But
We have Xfinity Shield. It has a built-in Wi-Fi feature that detects movement without cameras.
well, what they didn't know is that an even bigger threat lurks online. A hacker.
Actually, Xfinity CyberSecure protects our connected devices, too.
Okay, fine. But what they didn't see coming
is that these features are included with our Wi-Fi. We did. Kind of the whole point.
Well, this one's not getting a sequel.
What if protecting your home and devices could be drama-free? Introducing Xfinity Shield with Wi-Fi features designed to give you peace of mind. Visit xfinity.com/shield to learn more. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Xfinity Internet and compatible equipment required.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Tune in to elevate your wealth.
If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix it.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
The new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power exclusively. Available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Packed team buses, light rail and ferries. There are different routes to game day, but the destination is always the same. This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Jazz Alley invites you to an evening with internationally acclaimed contemporary jazz pianist and composer Keiko Matsui. August 27th through the 30th, tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Simon Phillips and Protocol 6.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is last call. We got a bunch of text messages. Man, so many topics today. It's tough to figure out where to start.
Start with a correction.
Okay, that's always a good place. Let's go for it.
360 corrected my mistake there. He says DEFCON 5 is peace. DEFCON 1 is war.
Okay, because we were wondering that earlier. We said
contemplating where we live during the post-apocalyptic world.
Was that a DEFCON?
Yeah, well, we said that we've raised to DEFCON 3, 4, and I said, and I assumed
I thought it was
the
early
scale
in the
going
show
up.
that we talked DEFCON. I don't remember what it was about though. Okay, but whatever. DEFCON 5 is peace. So we're at DEFCON 5 right now.
Yeah.
So DEFCON 1 would be when stuff is really hitting the fan.
Are we DEFCON 1 or 5? Are we 5? Maybe 4.
Well, it depends on
we're in a conflict.
I don't know where we're at actually.
Conflict with a hostile nation, right?
What DEFCON are we at? Current DEFCON.
Is there a current DEFCON where your DEFCON is always in view?
Yeah. What's our current DEFCON? Current DEFCON level right now is estimated to be DEFCON 3.
Oh,
heightened readiness.
Okay, well, yeah,
we're
we're
heightened
war.
readiness.
Yeah, you're war.
That's an estimation, though. We don't have insight. Yeah. It's an estimation. Okay, on the guy who plotted to kill Governor Ferguson, I'm going to let you read this one, Spike.
Sure. Doug in Mount Vernon says, psychological evaluation here. Who relies on transit to get to Olympia? Sound transit will take a century.
That's because it was part. Doug is making a joke about.
Yeah, part of this guy's plan was to take a bus to Olympia and survey security measures around the governor, and then maybe cause the governor harm.
It would call into question how
public transportation. You got to be crazy. No, I'm sorry.
On Bill Gates warning that AI will take your job, 206 says your conversation about Bill Gates missed an interesting part of the story. He is suggesting that a company replacing a human with a robot should pay tax as they would if they had an employee. That seems like a good conversation. That's actually how we started the conversation. 206.
Yeah. When you hire an employee and pay him, you pay an employee income tax, employee tax.
Yeah. Is 206 saying that we should have kind of figured out whether or not that's a good idea? I mean, it was all part of a larger conversation about AI.
The automation of technology into the workforce, Bill Gates said, helped save business owners money. And maybe if we taxed robotics where we taxed humans, it would slow down the job loss created by AI.
Here's what I would say. I'll render my opinion on that. And you can as well if you feel like it. Sure. I don't think they should be taxed like they're taxing an employee. I mean, I'm fine with innovation. I like these things.
Mm-hmm.
I see there being maybe more negative consequences to stifling innovation than protecting jobs. That's my personal opinion. Yeah. People may not agree with that.
I wouldn't tax him because I don't want an angry robot. We got a robot on the floor. I hope he's happy.
Right about that.
Want to give him a great break room, lots of oil.
100%.
Greg from Salty says, two different things can be true with regard to Bill Gates and AI taking jobs. Two things can be true at the same time. Bill Gates can be grasping at ways to save his reputation and still be right about the effects of AI on the labor market. Last year, I was working at Microsoft as a caterer for a business luncheon. A speaker was talking about how employing AI could free up workers to concentrate on more advanced tasks at work. Even I, a banquet server, could do the math and follow a straight line. Businesses like Microsoft don't hire people to sit around and be randomly brilliant and creative. They hire them to be a part of a team and accomplish specific goals. When they accomplish that goal, it's bye-bye. When I heard someone explain that all these executives could eliminate jobs, even eventually their own.
What's your take on Greg's? I don't want to be mean, but what's your take on Greg's comment? Should we just move on?
I think this was written by AI.
You think it was written by AI?
I really do.
No, it's not written by AI. I'm sure Greg feels very
Yeah.
It seems to me like Greg feels very passionate about this.
Yeah. And when you're a caterer serving lunch to rich guys, maybe you're a little jaded, a little jealous.
Oh, well, that's the thought that I had was maybe not the jealousy part, but I don't know that I necessarily would I think Greg is great at catering, and I think that's a great job that probably doesn't have the same threat of AI against it as maybe some of those white-collar Microsoft jobs.
Very insightful.
But Greg's got an interesting take on this. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is interesting.
No, Greg, I've got plenty of butter, but thank you.
On jumping between train cars, Kirk from Mount Vernon says, I work with trains. You better be able to jump about 7 feet. 7 feet seems achievable.
Sure, especially if it's coming towards you.
Yeah.
Right? When a train, you jump up and you run, it's coming towards you.
Okay, so here's the other tricky thing. If I'm also going in the direction that the train's going, it's still a 7-foot gap.
Yeah.
If I'm standing still and I'm jumping onto a moving train, then it's going to close the gap further.
Right. Okay.
But if it's a moving train, I imagine that 7-foot gap is still going to feel like 7 feet.
That's why I do it on a footbridge above the tracks like
That's
that.
Smart.
That's great.
That's very smart.
John in the 573 says, there used to be a parked train behind my childhood home's, my friend's best home. Wait a minute.
My childhood best friend's house.
Thank you. And that always we played on that for years. Most gaps between cars are small, but there's other gaps that are 12 to 15 feet. I will never forget the day we're playing in the clubhouse, and we built our box, and we had built in a boxcar when they decided to finally move the train, and we had to jump off. It was only a few miles per hour, but kind of sketchy for 10-year-olds. We played cowboys and Indians, cops and robbers were absolutely devastated when the train was no longer there. You had a train to play on?
Train is a magical thing.
That's awesome.
Do you ever go up to, is it Issaquah?
Snohomish, Old Town Snohomish.
Well, Snohomish has...
The train yard there, the graveyard?
That's I think it's Issaquah, isn't it?
Maybe. We're maybe talking about different things.
Well,
there's a rusted old train yard.
There's a rusted old thing
behind
of
fences.
Trains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Snohomish.
Are you sure?
We're just north of the falls, just Old Town Snohomish. Pretty sure.
Snohomish doesn't have falls. You're talking about
I'm talking about Snoqualmie.
We're both wrong. Son of a gun.
That's why we fact check everything we do. Always first with the wrong information.
God bless those trains. All right. John Curley's coming up next.
We hope.
It's Snoqualmie. We both decided it's Snoqualmie.
It is.
And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging with us today. We'll be back tomorrow, so we hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
The media's in the passenger seat. The government's driving the bus. Problem is, I don't know how the government gets people's trust back, and I don't know how the media gets the trust back as well. We've become a low-trust society. I don't know if we're as bad as the former USSR or Russia is now. Truth is whatever anybody pays it to be, and somebody wants to believe it for whatever reason somebody wants to believe it.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Hartley Wilcox here.
I'm sure you've heard the saying, you are what you eat. And everyone knows eggs are an incredible source of natural protein and omega-3. But have you ever stopped to think about what the hens eat to make the eggs great tasting and even healthier to eat? At Wilcox Farms, we believe in nature-first nutrition. Our hens enjoy pasture access and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. That means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for you and your family. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs, you're investing in real nutrition and real value. Because healthy hens make healthy eggs, and healthy eggs make healthy, happy families. So next time you're at the store, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Learn more at wilcoxfarms.com. Wilcox Farms, where better eggs begin with better care. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to tell you that Integrity Roofing and Construction has been serving and supporting our Puget Sound communities for 10 years. If your roof is aging, storm damaged, or just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation. With products that last longer and perform better, Integrity's team brings full transparency so you know exactly what your home needs before you spend a dime. And Integrity has locations from Issaquah to Sequim to Everett and Gig Harbor. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com right now. Integrity Roofing and Construction, where doing the right thing matters.
The Mariners are lighting up the sky all summer long with fireworks nights thanks to T-Mobile. Up next is a sing-along show on September 4th after the team takes on the A's. Get your tickets and check out the complete lineup at mariners.com/fireworks.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Did you know every qualifying vehicle at Sunset Auto Family comes with oil changes for life? That's about $150 each, and you get